enough race reaction of I'm reacting to the Xfinity 500. Yep, this is the Xfinity 500 Mustang. And I'm going to concentrate on this iPad, okay? And looks like Amir just made new customs here today. So first off, right here, I want to show you this Cody Ware primary Nutrix paint scheme, the purple version, and we got the black version, and then we got Eric Jones
with the little custom
Eric Jones paint scheme.
He ran a see the black?
Yeah,
that's custom.
He ran a Talladega Bristol playoff, right?
Yep. And Bubba Wallace ran that.
Final stage, 240 laps, very long pit road. Creeping at 30 miles per hour, that fuel window about 160, 170.
So yes.
And they're going to have a comp caution around lap 6.
And also, I just want to wish everybody happy Halloween, right?
Another Xfinity customer, Ralph Shorts, will be waving the green flag. Ralph up there on the flag.
Happy Halloween to everybody out there. Stay safe.
By providing such unique opportunities through their Xfinity Reward Customer Appreciation Program.
See that.
You're either going to give the command or you're going to wave the green flag at Martinsville, one of the most historic racetracks in all of NASCAR. All right, let's
stop.
Joey Logano's radio win situation.
Buddy, we know how to win down here for sure, so good luck down there. Paul, all the team, great job so far this year. Thank you. What comes down to this? We know how to do it. Thank you. You're the best guy under pressure, I know. We all are.
That's a pretty famous voice that's giving him the pep talk right there.
That's it. The big boss, Roger Penske, on the radio.
But just don't say it, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Win on Halloween. Well, it's been done 5 times before, at least raced on Halloween. Curtis Turner.
Stop.
Well, the first
Stop,
time.
Amir.
Darrell Waltrip also was victorious back in Rockingham.
Amir, can you please stop? You're being annoying. Amir, stop. Concentrate on the iPad.
As well as Jimmy Johnson. He was also victorious on
Amir,
Halloween.
please. For real, I'm going to stop this video.
Scary driver. Yeah, Clint Boyer won at Talladega.
Oh, yeah, I remember Climber winning at Talladega.
In 2021. We're about to see the green flag as the field working their way
go,
out
guys.
of turn 4.
The 5 off
Here we go.
He's the pole sitter.
Green flag. We're on the way at Martinsville, Amir's favorite track. Yep, the elimination round of 8.
Take the lead going into turn number 1 and already contact.
Martrex Jr. Oh, Martrex. Logan.
Martrex Jr. He slid up the racetrack.
And these cars don't like contact.
The hood?
A lot of flat tires,
The same.
issues with that.
Oh, I saw that. What? Yeah, so let me. I gotta see that. Harvick. Alright, but Kyle Larson's gonna complete the first lap. He already does some contact in the first lap between Truex and Brady Kane, but that was a paint
So
scheme.
now stuck on the outside, the 1 of Kurt Busch. And he'll find a spot. Just
Mickey Elliott.
12 of Ryan Blaney.
Oh, Amir, stop.
Christopher Bell out there.
Oh, I saw the Harvick doing the paint scheme. There it is right there. I saw that, Amir. I saw Amir because the black hood.
Worked really hard to find somewhere to go. Now there's a little bit of an opening. There he goes, slows down.
Oh God, Christopher Bell.
To get to the
Oh
bottom
God,
lane.
trying to make a move.
Let's take a look at the contact between Chase Elliott.
Oh yeah, I want to see. I want to see this again. Oh yeah,
come together. Nobody's fault really, just racing there.
Oh, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott was the one who.
Grip or what line
No, I don't know. Okay.
Looks like everybody gets away okay. That's just a warm-up tap right there. Martinsville, man. Get ready.
Just letting you know we're here.
Oh, look at the cloud paint scheme.
Logano just in front of Kurt Busch. Again, his situation. He's got to get up there and win this race.
I mean, I'm not concentrating on that.
500 laps here at Martinsville.
With the cold temperatures, this track's not taking a lot of rubber this weekend. So this first set of tires will probably have a little bit more wear than the others, and it's always been a challenge to know just how hard to push. How long will this be?
And don't focus on the TV.
How hard do you push?
I know you're ruining the race.
To drive off and those things. One driver
Oh, there's the
can
McLeod
sit
paint
back
scheme.
and wait the
I'm
11
watching it right now,
He's on
Baba. I'm
the bottom of your
recording.
screen, but look to the left. The leader, Kyle Larson, already a half a lap in front of Denny Hamlin because of the speed. And Hamlin is really restricted with traffic. So 2 big panics for the 11.
I saw that.
Caught up in the wreck that he assumes is going to happen
I mean,
somewhere
can
in
you
this
please
pack.
watch
Is,
it?
how quick is the leader coming? So right here, you see finally, he rode behind the 52 for a couple laps. Finally
Oh,
gave
the
a little hit,
53
was
right there,
"Listen,
that's Joey
buddy,
Gase.
I'm sorry, but But the leader is coming, and Kyle Larson would
contact right
nothing more than to lap me in this race. So he is going to have to find some clear
I mean,
track
Larson is
that
already
exists
advanced
here
to the
at Martinsville.
championship.
I was gonna say, it's a little congested in front of him right now.
And then he'll have the pace that he needs to get through this group of cars. The question is, will there be contact?
Hey, Mary, can you please watch this?
At Martinsville, we saw lap one, quarter one, there was contact. Denny Hamlin needs a clean,
Hey, Mary, can you please watch this
solid
on my
day.
iPad? No, man. Okay,
Driving on the roof, the 11 car for Denny Hamlin, the Coca-Cola Zero Sugar camera. As he's trying to find a way around the outside of Ryan Newman.
Get out. Get out.
Ryan, one of the more difficult guys to get around in this series.
But please, I know Pyro, okay? Nothing changed. But man, please don't ruin the race.
Making a move here on the 19, Marty.
I mean, are you ruining the race?
Already a little bit of contact as you guys.
I know you are ruining the race. I'm stopping this video. Yes, sit here right now. Sit.
How quickly the 19 got pictures of that.
I mean, you're ruining the race.
I don't think it's going to be an issue, but almost immediately when that happened, Alan Gustafson
I mean,
looking at pictures.
I'm stopping this video.
Getting those pictures to the pit box
I mean,
so you can analyze the damage.
Well, it's different than most weeks.
No,
Most
man,
weeks
just
you're
shut your
looking
mouth.
if there's any damage because
Please.
you need your car as aerodynamically sound as possible. Here, it's about brake cooling, engine
Being
cooling, and
rude.
tire rubs. Those are your three main concerns. So that information very important.
What?
Alan Gustafson can look at this.
What
look
the
at this picture,
competition?
come up with a plan if
What?
any of those three
Competition
are-
cautions competition cautions happening on lap 25 instead of is that happening on lap 60 instead of 25?
Find a way around. Yeah, Truex has had, like, great
Yes,
pace on the
come.
short tracks this year, but looks like the Nascar has a little more speed at this
I
moment.
mean, just keep like.
Dave, what you got?
I mean,
I talked to James Small about
wait,
whether they
just
like
go
what they
work,
had
okay?
here
Just
in
go in your
April
area,
or not.
okay?
He said we didn't, but that's because we were
I mean,
setting
why don't you
ourselves
just go
up
into
so
your area,
well
do
for us here,
something.
and we're trying to perfect it
Just
a little bit.
work.
We wanted to connect the corners a little bit better for Martin.
Just
And it
hang
really
out
worked
there,
out for us.
okay?
So where we are today is about where we are the 3 times we
Make
won
more
this
customs,
track.
I mean, come on,
Looking
bro.
back from the Toyota cam here on the back bumper of
Just
Mark
make
Truex
more
Jr.
customs.
And Mark Truex Jr., obviously, we talk about
The paper,
being good at this
print
racetrack.
like
He won here in
Austin
the spring,
Cindric's
so we know that
patriotic
he's
one,
good
please.
on short tracks, especially here at
No, do that,
He's
dude.
looking for the sweep, but getting a lot of pressure right now from Chase Elliott.
Yeah, he's won 3 of 4 at this racetrack, so he's been really good. It's interesting why, when you think about Martinsville, you think about this small racetrack, one groove, but drivers move around on this racetrack trying to find a place where their car drives better. Already you see Martin Truex Jr.
Okay,
He's
can you
not on that
please stop
curve.
ruining
Left
the
side
race?
tires are up the racetrack a little bit.
I mean,
searching
are you
for grip.
ruining? I mean, are you ruining the
See how
race?
Chase Elliott's right on that curve all the way around the racetrack? Martin Truex Jr.
You are?
He's moved his car around a little bit. Car turns a
I mean,
little
are you
bit
ruining the
like
race?
that. It leaves the corner. See it right there? Now Chase Elliott tried it.
I
He
mean,
tried a
if you don't
high
answer me,
entry to get a low
I'm
exit.
stopping this.
So it's only 3 or 4 feet where you
I mean,
move the car
are
around
you
at this
ruining the
racetrack,
race?
but it completely changes the way your car drives.
You know what, Amir?
Danny Hamlin, the 11 car started in the back because of inspection issues up to 27th, Rick, but a lot of
commercial.
traffic in front.
Amir.
Playoffs for Martinsville, the Xfinity 500.
Oh yeah, we got the Coca-Cola. Stop swinging them, man.
Welcome to the Jenny 500.
Denny, welcome to the Jenny 500. Row number 1, we have hot wings. Stop! Stop! Get out of here, bro. We got row 2. Stop talking, you're gonna make my truck get 2 minutes. And then we got cheeseburger. Who's gonna win? Wow! Tacos!
Tacos on the opposite. He'll win at Martinsville. Ah! While the other 3 are get
We got
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, this commercial. Stop singing!
I need to try it first.
Stop!
Innovation
I didn't. You're gonna make my truck get deleted.
What if it looked like a family truck that powers a family home? Or an ordinary drive made extraordinary? Change what innovation looks like. From floating around in your own personal space capsule up here to what we could build for all Americans down here. Pringles Original Barbecue. Barbecue pizza stack. Where is it? Pringles. Endless flavors to stack.
Halloween night.
You want to
It's
fight.
not about what's lurking in the dark, because the scariest forces on this planet make their presence known. They want you to see them coming, because they know there is nothing you can do to stop them. Sunday Night Football on NBC and Peacock.
Make sure to download the official app of NASCAR and follow the action with free live scoring. There's in-car cameras and radio broadcasts. Search NASCAR in your app store to download and start a free trial today. So on Halloween, a few teams have taken on the idea of little Halloween paint schemes, right, Rutt?
That's right, Rick.
Oh.
Spooky looking dude wipes.
We're back.
Some great artwork on there. Some really good
Spooky. I mean, you see, I mean, I like Battlefield Fredo. Oh, Josh Blakey. He has a skeleton.
It's just a race car, Rick.
Wow.
Well, it's scary because it's Martinsville.
I mean, Martinsville's scary. That's why it's Halloween, because Martinsville's scary. On October 31st. What?
He's actually below the cut line right now, but he's going to make up that ground. How far can he get?
Jeez, give me my bouncy ball. Bouncy ball. Shark Puppet, I can't. You stop cursing! You're making my channel get deleted, thanks to you, Amir.
We know how good he is around here.
And then you're gonna make my channel get deleted.
But even the passes that he does make seems to make.
Amir, stop. You're making my channel get deleted. You're making my channel get deleted.
I will say, Jeff,
I don't say any curse words.
he is one more, an analytical, very patient driver in the field.
Wrong.
Oh, yeah, he's
God.
analytical and very good at this racetrack.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Is
Funny now? Is it funny, Austin? Oh my God.
Trying to pass him on the outside.
Guys,
They all
look.
got back by him. So now he's going back to work
You're
the pass
making
the
me.
same size he had
Okay,
already passed
okay,
a
I'm
minute ago.
sorry. Not okay.
Dylan. Right now, so that may be hindering his progress as well, particularly in the center of the corner. But the biggest thing
United.
was Gabehart, before they even had to go to the back of the field, was just treat this race as one race at a time in the sense of breaking up the stages into individual races. So they're going to go to lap 60 here and just try to continue to move forward, then go to stage 1.
Stop. Amir!
So on and so forth, just to get themselves
Stop.
back in a good position.
Stop what?
So it's been a very
Attacking me.
all day long.
Stop
Biggest thing they've
stop
stressed is
attacking
just
me,
keep the
Amir.
fingers on this thing.
For goodness sakes, Amir.
Stop turning to 1-877.
Brian Blaney running in 7th place right now. Not too
Well.
bad position-wise, but he's got a lot of pressure behind him. Not only William Byron, but a lot of cars really in close proximity to this 12.
William
The leader's
Byron.
almost a full half a lap ahead of Ryan Blaney, and I'm not seeing great pace for this 12 car. I'm wondering if he's just trying to save a little bit of race car because they know they got that comp yellow coming. But he's going to have an ultra hard time holding
The camera's
on. All these
looking
cars here
weird.
keep that track position.
He's running that second lane, Junior. That's where his car wants to run. That's where he's happy. But that exposes himself to William Byron driving underneath him and getting him to the left side.
Oh, God! Byron, what are you doing?
I understand, Blaney.
I still like Byron, okay? I mean,
the car's that close to you, you almost got to move your lane. See right here, Junior? William Byron in the back of Blaney.
It didn't take really nothing to upset that car, so he's obviously not comfortable, even when guys aren't
well,
getting into the back
of
of him. Let's listen to
we're gonna see
12
some
radio.
insane things here in Martinsville.
Really loose entry, no drive exit, with the no security on entry up. Get tight in the middle and get through the wheel.
Lots of problems in the balance of that race car. They're going to have to go to work to help Ryan Blaney so he can move forward.
That loose on entry, that's exactly why it took almost no contact to get him turned around right along with the Ford Performance camera. But he's got his hands full because when he says he's loose on entry, when you're a driver, you want to drive in the corner, get on the brakes, turn that wheel. Just turn it, feel the right front. He can't do that. Every time he turns the wheel, he's got to turn it back to the right to catch up with the rear end, Marty. And
Jeff, we talked about that loose entry and how difficult it is at Martinsville. Blaney saying not getting any better as he tries to hold off Christopher Bell right behind him. Junior, you know Ryan Blaney better than anybody, and I would have said a few years ago, a race like Kansas where they got 1 point at Kansas, that is it. That might have done him in for the next week, but I think Ryan Blaney has matured. I think what he does today and how he might rebound from a difficult race last week will tell us a lot about Ryan Blaney today. I'm curious to see what you think about that.
Yeah, I think you just need to be patient right here. They're going to have some chances to work on this car. Don't freak out. It's a long race, but I know they need the stage points. They got to press hard, but get the car to pit road when they can and work on it. Great battle up top here for second place. Nascar Chase Elliott going around strict as they got in traffic here. It's exposes 19 a little bit. The pace of the 9's still there as we go throughout this run.
How difficult is it to choose the right line now for guys like Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr. when they're trying to get by this traffic?
Well, you hope the slow traffic goes to the top, right? The really slow. You got several different types of cars. Some that are really slow, some that are good race cars just don't have the pace today. You hope the cars that are really struggling give you the bottom, just point you to the bottom and not race you.
Saw it there, Anthony Alfredo pointed to the inside there for Martin Truex Jr.
So as we look at this battle right here, looking at Kyle Larson and how close he is to Denny Hamlin. There's Denny coming off of turn 4. There's Larson. Larson closing in as we got a comp yellow around lap 60. 20 laps, man. He could get close to that 11. Denny's going to have to try to pick it up a little bit. He's been trying to save his car, take it easy, to allow them to be able to have the tires to get creative on these few first pit stops to get that track position, but we have to hustle a little bit here toward the comp yellow.
And the reason Denny started at the back, Steve, they went through inspection. He failed twice.
Oh, nothing.
He was able to advance through that inspection
Ooh.
Yes, so 2 failures and you go to the back of the third one, they would have lost his crew chief.
Yeah,
So
I'll turn
the third time, and you see Chase Elliott working through traffic here.
Nothing, Mom. It's nothing wrong with me, okay? Okay.
43 laps in from Martinsville. Kyle Larson dominating once again.
Yep, Phoenix. So, yep, and also, guys. Oh shoot. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. There was just a random person at my house trick or treat, doing a trick or treat.
Also, obviously, the 9's just really fast. I mean, he's probably got the best race car on the racetrack right now in pace.
Okay, alright, so we're back here, Martinsville for the Xfinity 500 and Martinsville.
Before the comp yellow around lap 60, just 8 laps away.
There's what Larson has to deal with side by side in front of him.
Two JTG Doherty teammates running side by side.
Ready to go by the 37.
Two of my least favorite from JTG Doherty, Racing, Stinky Stenhouse, and Ryan.
The pace that Kyle Larson is setting is impressive. You know, this race a year ago, kind of the same idea, comp yellow. They only lapped to the 28th position.
I know my prediction, Kyle Larson's going to win the championship.
So Kyle Larson,
that's my prediction. Who's going to win? 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champ.
That's going to change kind of the complexion of this race as we continue on. As the 9.
Yep, I know. Competition cost lap 60. Oh, it's lap 54. Okay, so we're like... So we're close to get the lap competition caution. Dang it, I hate when I mess up my words. Dang it.
Well, the problem Larson has right here is this stage win doesn't matter, the points don't matter, but it matters to Chase Elliott.
Lap
He wants
56.
He can pass the 5 of Kyle Larson. That's 1 extra point at the end of this stage, so he's going to fight all the way to lap 130. Larson, I think he's in this for the long haul. He wants to win the race, but he wants to keep his car.
Right, lap 56.
Here's Chase to the inside.
Woo. Lead, Chase Elliott inside of the 5, and Larson doesn't put up much fight. Elliott out front.
Chase set that up in turn 1 and 2. Ran a little bit higher than the 5 through the corner and kind of turned down on the corner exit. Had a little bit better run down the back straightaway. Obviously, Larson did let him get by there, but I think the 9 car was inevitably going to be able to take the lead here in a lap or a corner or two.
Well, let's see what happens now.
4 laps to go.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Alright, 3 laps to go until the competition caution.
Corner exit speed. It's not
Because
good right here in
it's
the middle
lap
of the corner.
58.
Everybody can drive underneath you, but off the corner.
Ooh, Chase Elliott takes the lead. Kyle Larson's gonna try to fight back.
Where does Cody Ware go?
It's Cody Ware right there. Lap car. Alright, 2 laps to go right here. 1 more lap and we'll be close to the line of the competition caution.
Around lap 60.
There's Larson to the outside. There you go. This lap traffic's playing a role.
I think Larson's going to get trapped here behind the slower 51 car as they move through. Now retain the lead here. Again, though, Ricky Stenhouse.
Here we go, white flag. Final lap for the cup yellow.
To stay on the lead lap. Make it as difficult as he wants for these guys.
19 is caught up as well. 3 cars now fighting for the lead. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. still not giving Chase Elliott the line he wants.
Oh, the 51 back there, really dirt
Wow,
track.
Cody Ware got a little bit sideways. Alright, there's the competition caution.
Stenhouse Jr. stays on the lead lap when the competition caution comes out.
And that battle by Stenhouse really helps his teammate Ryan Preece because Ryan Preece should get the free pass. So that's a big swing of events for JTG.
It's a great job by Stenhouse Jr. Fight and stay on that lead lap. Good work.
So Chase Elliott fights his way up to the front. Is able to get by Larson. And Mark Truex Jr. had closed the gap there. He was running in the 2nd position. Keselowski 3rd or 4th. And Kyle Busch in that 5th position. Mountain Dew is fueling outdoor enthusiasts with chances to win epic prizes this fall. Dew fans can visit DewOutdoors.com to take action to protect the outdoor spaces they love for daily chances to win. Each action taken means more chances to win amazing prizes, including a 2022 Ford F-150.
Well, halfway through the first stage, pit road is open. I expect to see all the lead lap cars come to pit road with those fresh tires and perhaps more important, some adjustments.
What about Denny Hamlin?
Oh, yeah. He's in the lead lap. He's going to come as well, I think, Dave.
Good long run speed for the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. running third there. You saw him closing at the end, but he was a little bit tight. He wants an air pressure adjustment for that. And Kyle Busch in the 18 car, the left rear is shaking. He needs an adjustment somehow to get that to stop happening because it goes all the way through the corner.
Pit stops.
Chase Elliott said the car turns really well, but started to lose rear grip at the end of the run. But he said, I'm not unhappy with it. Let's leave it like it is. Cliff Daniels said the same thing for Kyle Larson. Loose on entry, loose on exit, but they said they think the track is going to go through a significant swing as stage one goes on. So they're going to make no changes on the 5-hole drag race between the Hendrick car.
All Larson won the race after barely.
Advantage reclaims the lead.
Grabs top spot once again as it comes off pit road.
Alright, come on, show. I bounced off at the top 10 on pit road.
Rise and shine, New York. It's going to be a great day. Health First Medicare Advantage plans help you live a healthier life. Makes you happy. We offer plans with unexpected benefits, such as our flexible OTC Plus card, which gives you up to $187 a month for healthy foods, internet service, and more. Plus, you'll smile about dental services as low as $0, including dentures, crowns, and root canals with no annual maximum. You'll also get up to $400 for eyewear and pay as little as $0 for hearing aids and prescription drugs. For a $0 premium, we've got you covered, whether you're home or traveling. So join 1.7 million Health First members. Call 1-855-859-4365. That's 1-855-859-4365. Health First Medicare Advantage plans, where healthy starts. Enrollment ends December 7th.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built a truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150 with available Pro Power onboard that acts like a mobile generator and an available tailgate work surface. It's built to get the job
Hey, hold on, guys. I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I promise.
right now. Get the 2021 Ford F-150, 0% financing for 72 months. View more offers at buyfordnow.com. Time and Temperature is brought to you by Raymore and Flanagan. Surround yourself with what you love. Nascar on NBC is brought to you by Ford. Build Ford proud. Ally. Do it right. Now even more delicious. Well, a lot of the fans are showing their Halloween support here at the racetrack. Something that's scary, it seems like in Martinsville.
That's right, Rick. And you know what? I've stood it as long as I can. I just gotta get into my costume now. I'm ready for a party. And I'm not the only one. Take a look at the 78 car. BJ McLeod has got a great paint scheme today. He's got some pumpkins on there. Ian Marks is looking good, and he's not the only one. Oh no, the Candyman himself, Kyle Busch, always delivering with that M&M's Toyota Camry. That paint job is spooky as can be. Guys, gotta tell you, I wish I'd come up with a better costume, maybe a slightly warmer one. It is staying cool and real windy down here in the infield.
Well, Run, something that's scary, it seems like in Martinsville, Denny Hamlin, is the speed limit because he can't abide by it on pit road.
Well, does it count if you did it like 90% of the pit road correct? It's the last segment. So all the way around the corner, you're going to see he's inside the 17. And then right here, from this white line, basically to this yellow line, kind of pulls to the left too fast. Now that segment's only 60 feet long. The rest of the pit road segments are like 130. Let's listen to Denny Hamlin.
Lambert, I know you were telling him back up, but you just got to pull him harder there. You just got to pull him harder. There was no reason right there.
As conversation spotter, a crew chief let the crew chief know, listen, there was nothing to be gained. He knows where he was speeding. He doesn't believe there was an opportunity
Arson.
Oh! Oh! Spin!
Well, hey, listen, you got to be aggressively patient. I mean, it's a long way to go.
Spins on the turn four.
Big break into the A-Lane right here. Millennium line.
The 6 car. I saw those guys. They had a little issue off turn 2. A couple guys get 3 wide down the back straightaway. Let's take a look at it. 99 got underneath all those guys back straightaway. Ready to run. They go down the corner. Just not enough for air contact today.
Riding on board these.
Arson Newman just spun.
Yeah, he does a good job not only not making contact with other cars, Rick, but like you say, stayed off that fence with the right front.
Newman just spun.
So a close call for Denny Hamlin. Are you changing your tune as far as will he still score stage points, Steve?
Absolutely, zero doubt. Especially now, because this is going to allow him. Now he's not tail end anymore. Now he gets to pull up and start with the lead.
Close call for Hamlin. One of the playoff
Oh, he hit the wall.
here at Martinsville.
Alright, we'll be back. Come on, Troy.
This isn't just freight. These aren't just shipments. They're promises. Promises of all shapes and sizes. Each with a time and a place they've been promised to be. Our promise is everything to our living. Because it means everything to you. This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop.
And we're the Antonellis.
Too good, eat good.
That's our mission.
We chose our new Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because it gives us unlimited 2% cash back on everything we buy.
And it has no preset spending limit, so our purchasing power adapts to our business needs. We use our 2% cash back to help cover our employees' healthcare costs.
That's how we take care of our most valuable asset.
Our people.
But we like it that way.
Let's do your wallet.
And yeah, I got comfort sensor.
Are you behaving or are you not behaving?
Well, when I was in the bathroom right there, Amir told me there was a spin, and he ruined it. Dude.
Mom, you need to grow up and start to learn how to
I'm
let
gonna
it
get
go.
him back.
Stop. You're not gonna go anywhere. Fix your shirt.
Okay.
Leave it alone.
We've mentioned the historic nature of Martinsville Speedway. Track facts for Martinsville brought to you by Yellowwood.
Back.
Shortest track on the Cup Series schedule. The only track that has hosted a race every Cup season. That's why it's 1949 when Nascar was formed. This being the 146th Cup race.
Back. Alright, so Newman just fine.
What's this track and the fans around here have seen since 1949. Started off as a dirt track, now concrete, the corners, asphalt along the straightaways, long straightaways. Fans back up on their feet as we get ready for the race.
I guess not back in here.
So early in the race, the Hendrick drivers playing nice with each other, where we see Kyle Larson say, okay, I'm going to take the outside as long as you let me get into turn 1 first.
Yeah, we've seen that multiple times. Now, the concern is late in the race, that usually ends up with some pushing and shoving back in the second row. We'll see as the race continues if that ends up being an issue.
Yeah, because making it work, Chase Elliott launches very slowly. Martin Truex Jr. behind him, and that's with 10 to go, is going to be pushing him. A little patience now, but it won't be later. Marty.
Little conversation, Jeff, on the 9 radio about maybe some voltage issues. Listen in.
Fine now, 14.4 at the end.
Alright, so there was another trick-or-treater there.
Lowest RPM point, it was down about 12.9 to 13.
Alright.
Bands on, coming to the green. Thought it was a little low. Solid charge.
So that was the restart before, and Steve, what Alan Gustafson told Chase Elliott, he said the way we're kind of designed with the car electrically, it's not going to charge very well under caution. So sort of unpack that. And I know with the alternator issues that Hendrick Motorsports has had
51 to go.
That'll be a little bit of a concern, but maybe not too much this early.
Yeah, this is a track you have to be very concerned for your electrical load because you run a lot of fans. And the other issue is
so we got
speed
500
is so
laps.
slow. The RPM of the engine very, very low. So the belt and the alternator just not spinning very fast. With all that electrical load, you can actually damage the alternator. So it's important on the crew chief. One more thing you have to do is remind your driver, whatever the system is, right? Fans on, fans off, all of those different things sounded to me like that was radio back on the screen. Chase Elliott let him know. Now that we're at speed, the volts seem to be a whole lot better. So it's good news for the 9 car.
Only 49 laps remaining in stage 1. It's Larson, Elliott, Truex Jr., and now the 24 of William Byron has fallen into this 4th position, Parker.
Right, Rick, he's been flying one of the fastest cars on the racetrack before the competition caution, and once again, after the competition caution, the highest-running non-playoff driver in the field. I talked to his crew chief, Rudy Fugle, about being that non-playoff driver and fighting these cars. He said racing in these races is about proving we can race at an elite level. That means acing as if we are racing for that championship. Even though they got knocked out in the round of 12 at the Roval, they feel like the performances they've shown in this playoff shows they belong to be in these playoffs, and it gets them ready for next year. And really, that 24 car is probably the fastest car on the racetrack aside from his 2 teammates who are running 1-2 right now. See, Larson is not able to keep his car on the bottom of the racetrack. He's just going to pull over, let Chase Elliott go. Chase is definitely faster. Larson, his car is not making the grip that he wants to make.
And, you know, Jeff, Larson was pretty vocal coming here that this isn't his best racetrack. He's run okay here, but thinks he has a lot to learn. So I know he did let the 9 go there, but I think this race is important for Kyle Larson just to absorb all of this Martinsville experience without the pressure of having to win already locked into Phoenix, Marty.
Trust me, they're trying to learn everything they can because they'll tell you this is their worst racetrack. In fact, Kyle Larson told me, I can promise you my car is going to be better than me on Sunday afternoon. So far, pretty good. But listen on the radio after the last run of what Cliff Daniels told Kyle Larson about how to start the run.
So that was 5 green flag laps. You are really good on the exit for those 5. Just make sure you're not shocking your rears too early in the run. Chase may be a little softer on his rears. That's the difference in a half tenth. You know, right there as we get going.
So, Dale, you had to learn this racetrack at one point. It's little nuances like that. Hey, take care of your rear tires early in the run. That's how your teammate is better than you. Those little things make a big difference.
Yeah, he says shock the rear tires. So if you just hammer on the race car and hammer on the throttle at the start of the run, you eat away at the tire life that you need at the end of the run. So hard, you know, 5 hard laps in the very first part of the run can hurt the car on the last 20 laps. Dave, what do you got here?
Pit crews working very quickly under conditions that are very competitive. Sometimes the wheel is left loose. That's what Ross Chastain was sure that he had. So they went to work
pitting. Concern here at Martinsville, length of pit road. I mean, it's basically 3/4 of a lap. You're going to lose 2 laps relative to the leader. Jeff, we talk every race just how difficult it is to try to get back from 2 down.
Yeah, it's so difficult, Steve, getting 2 down, trying to recover from that. Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon is all over the rear bumper. Ryan Blaney, he's slowing this group up. Austin's getting into him about every corner. He gets into the back of him. It's driven underneath him a couple times, and Blaney's been able to stay in front, but
oh shoot, Blaney.
He's under assault. Marty.
So how bad was the handling of the 12th car even before this most recent pit stop? Listen on the radio.
And I'm in big trouble here, but man, I just have no radiator. I can't get in the corner. Any stability. Don't exit the corner with any drive. I can't really even tell you about tight middle because of the loose.
Oh God, boy. Austin Dillon.
Oh, and damage now. He has gotten contact
What
from
the
Austin Dillon. Blaney saying the car is a
Oh,
little bit tighter, but clearly Dillon was a little frustrated with Blaney there. A critical stage here, 38 to
Let me
go in this
see.
stage, and he has to get stage points.
No!
Damage on that left rear. It doesn't look like
Fucking
a tire roll.
serious.
Gotta be a little bit of concern with that fuel fill. Let's just take a look right here. A little bit of damage to the right front of the 3 as well. So, man, this 12 car, a lot of damage. The tire looks good. We'll have to see how it looks when they come into the pit stop as far as putting fuel in, Rick. That would be my concern right away.
Second week in a row between these two. Last week in Kansas. Remember the two? Running with each other. 12 gets into the wall and behind the wall. That's why Ryan Blaney right now is in the position he's in. Fighting to stay in the playoffs to make it into the championship four. Now, Blaney running ninth.
I still like Austin. I know Austin. You did that by accident. I know you're trying.
But I still have bad days, flare-ups, which can permanently damage my lungs. My lungs need protection against flare-ups. So, it's time to get real. Because in the real world, our lungs deserve the real protection of
I don't blame Austin for that. Oh, Blaney, I know it's your fault. I know, but that's okay. Okay, if you don't make it to the championship, I still like you. I hope you can do good next year.
Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsening breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
For real protection, ask your doctor about Breztri.
Subway has so much news, so they asked the fastest guy they could find to tell you now you can eat fresh and fast with new Subway delivery.
Hey, it's Go Harvick. The Subway.
Okay, I'm up. 5 more minutes. Bring me up a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Kit Kat.
There ain't much left in the tank.
The championship for Phoenix.
But they gonna have to get more. From the depths of their hearts, they're the leader right now. With a lead in their feet. Take care of her. In order to become champion. The NASCAR Championship. Next Sunday on NBC.
Blaney now back to 11. Christopher Bell got by him. There was contact between those two. I want to look back on how that pass happened between the 3 and the 12 and listen to the throttle of the 12 as the 3 is trying to get by him.
I think it was Bowman. I think it was Bowman who caused that. It's Kate Bowman. See what happened. Good. What the fuck? Bell, it's not your fault. I know. Bell, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I know you're trying to get past. When how better not hit him.
think right now, the biggest thing Ryan Blaney needs is a calming voice in his head. Just reminding him, look, this has not started the way we wanted it to. But we still have almost 400 laps to get done what we need to get done. Like, just recenter, refocus. We will make this car better for you. Get his brain back into the mission. I know he's frustrated. I know he's upset. His car is damaged. But his day is not done. You got to just keep fighting.
Dylan, what have you got on Denny?
Well, they've continued to fight as well. And remember, they nearly were collected in that spin from Ryan Newman a few laps ago. Take a listen to the radio.
Oh, man. How was this? I don't know what it was, but I said behind, right? Yeah. If I didn't let off the brake, it was right fronted. Yep.
So it was very close, obviously. We saw how close he was to the wall, but crisis averted. Biggest thing that did for them, though, caution was actually a blessing in disguise. It brought them back to the tail end of the lead lap car, so they gained about 15 positions on track, not necessarily in the running order, just past 15 cars, so big break for them there. Denny's still just too tight. In fact, it's gotten worse on this run.
And now he's right behind Ricky Stenhouse Jr. again. Difficult to pass. And Bubba Wallace, winner at Talladega earlier this year, and actually Denny's the owner of that car that he's about ready to go on the outside of, or trying to get by.
He's trying to be patient with the 23, but the 47 is definitely kind of struggling to get by. You can see the 11 has more speed. He can run the bottom or the top, and he's right on the rear bumper, but this is not a three-wide racetrack. We've seen it before, but you definitely don't want to do that with 19 to go into stage one. So Denny being patient, trying to follow the 47 through the top. Bubba Wallace doing a nice job, though, not giving up the position. We spend a lot of time talking about these playoff drivers, but one guy having a great run today, driving through this field, the three-car of Austin Dillon, all the way up to 8th place and trying to pass Joey Logano for 7th here on the bottom of the racetrack. That damage to the right front doesn't seem to be hurting the pace on this race car too much.
Austin Dillon, he's moving forward. We've seen Ryan Blaney go back, Joey Logano go back. Chase Elliott, he's still up front as we go NASCAR nonstop.
All right, here we go, guys. NASCAR nonstop is about to be underway.
Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead.
That's cute, but my internet streams to my back.
Yeah? Well, mine's always got my back.
Okay, chill. Mine's faster than Harvey.
Okay, that's fast.
My internet's so fast, it keeps up with me.
Yep, that's because you all have the same internet. Xfinity X5. So powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
Can the internet do that?
An F-150 isn't an F-150 because of the name on the tail.
Oh, we got Chisel right here trying to get passed by a lot of traffic.
Built to haul more, built to tow more, for the people who count on it. Because they know that brawn can get the job done, but it takes brains and brawn to get it done right. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
They're nice but irritating, their excitement can get grating. They're dressed for pastry baking, the Progressive family. They're helpful but annoying, they always leave us snoring. Accidents are boring with the Progressive family.
So, when do you all go home?
Never, we're here for you 24/7.
How terrifying.
Protection's so good, it's scary. The Addams Family 2, now playing everywhere. I am the Great American Race.
Yeah, the 2022 Daytona 500. Don't go into next year.
Fans start your season weekend that never ends. A driver's fantasy. A fan's reality. I am a history book written in record.
It's the Bears.
The Daytona 500. I am NASCAR.
Say hello to a new Monday.
This is huge, and now it's official.
Living legends. Groundbreaking superstars.
This is my show now.
This is mine. And 3 hours of non-stop action.
Monday nights continue to get even more stacked.
Monday Night Raw, live Mondays at 8 on USA.
NASCAR Cup Series playoffs from Martinsville, the Xfinity 500. Still up front, Chase Elliott, he has led 44 laps. Kyle Larson was up front for 77 laps. Those are the only two cars that have led here at Martinsville to start this race. Guys who need points: Ryan Blaney, Mark Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski. Well, Truex Jr. is running third. Keselowski is running fifth right now. Parker.
Hey guys, from Joe Logano, he's in a must-win position, struggling right now to handling that race car. Recently just got passed by Austin doing the 3 car, but take a listen to his radio what he noticed on that 3.
I got a hole in the right front. Hey, up. Blaney.
Well, sometimes there's a thought process here at Martinsville. Maybe removing that right front fender can keep that right front cooler, help that car turn. We're seeing that 3 car be very fast right now for Joe Logano. He's been struggling keeping the rear tires on that car and exit, and also getting to turn the center in that 22. Then you get a good look at that 3 car. That hole maybe helping that right front a little bit, guys.
Yeah, it becomes pit road. I wouldn't be patching that up. Anything,
All right, we're back.
Because what happens is
Stop.
tires, they get a bunch of heat from the brakes.
6 to go in stage 1.
If you're cooling the surface temperature of that tire throughout the run, you're going to be at a little bit of an aero disadvantage firing off on new tires. But over the long run, you will have so much more grip than the guys out there on the racetrack with fenders. I've had this happen to me multiple times. And when you can cool that tire, it really helps out the performance of the car on the long run. Dylan.
And Junior, he did say that the car was getting better before that contact as the track rubbered in. But since the contact, he has come back and said it is really, really good, as you'd expect because of what you guys just explained. So Austin gets around this racetrack really well regardless. He likes this racetrack, but they've got a pretty strong piece right now behind the wheel of that 3 car.
The guy we used to talking about a lot, Kyle Busch. Hadn't heard much from him. Having a very solid, quiet day. Sitting here 6th place.
Like even right there when I had to slow down for traffic in the middle, start with the front, and just kind of flip it back around, rotated around the center of the car.
We're just giving good information. Going to get some solid stage points right
Tyler's
here.
trying to get passed by Josh.
He wants a little bit of speed, but really accomplishing what he needs to in this first stage, Dave.
And just a bit of a quandary, Jeff, for crew chief Ben Bayshore when it comes to pit road. Spider Tony Hirschman noticed that he was not getting into the corner.
LA and Bully went flying. Final lap, stage 2. Yeah, stage.
It's all about my drive off. So sometimes the spotter sees things that the crew chief needs to know about. The driver ultimately behind the wheel has information that his rear end is feeling. What does Ben do?
Listen to the driver.
Alright, there we go. Final lap.
I was going to see what your answer was.
Isn't that always the driver's answer? Listen to the driver?
Well, for sure. And this is a track that, handling. If the car drives good, you're going to go faster.
Coming out of 4 for the final time of stage 1.
Alright, Chase Elliott's going to win stage 1 at Martinsville. Larson 2nd. Truex 3rd. Byron 4th. Brad 5th. Kyle Busch 6th.
Truex Jr. scoring points. Brad Keselowski scoring points. Kyle Busch also scoring those points. Joey Logano.
Okay. Alright, Chase Elliott wins stage 1. We're off to stage number 2 here at Martinsville. No, not. Well, not Chucky. The dog named Chucky. He Chucky.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built a series of the future for everyone. Ford Escape and Explorer. Placed to help protect vehicles in your blind spot and your lane keeping system. Because the SUVs of the future aren't built for a few. They're built for America. Ford Escape and Explorer. Drive one today. Come and see your local Ford stores for special leasing financing options on the well-equipped Ford Explorer. Do more and buy Ford
This election coming up could be the most important election we've had on Staten Island since 1993, when we first elected Rudy Giuliani and turned New York City around. The last year and a half, we've seen some terrible things happening in the city. Crime is on the rise, quality of life degradation, schools are in bad shape. So go out and vote for me, veto for self, for borough president. Let's make our schools better, our parks better, keep our communities safe. Let's save New York City, and most importantly, let's put Staten Island on the best path for our future. Jay Lynch. Next up.
We're less than 100 days out from the Busch Light Clash in the Coliseum on February 6th. You can be a part of this historic event and secure tickets now at NASCAR.com/LA Coliseum. They will be obviously running that next-gen car. And Junior, we saw you climb into that next-gen car in Bowling Gray on Tuesday. How did it feel?
Yeah, the front car brakes really, really good. Giant brakes on this thing, so that took some getting used to. And that bigger tire gives the car so much more drive off. I was really surprised by how much grip there was available when you got back to the gas. I had a lot of fun driving this thing. Tony Stewart took the car down for many laps. I ran a handful of Clint Word, ran some as well. We all had a lot of fun in it.
You were faster than Clint, though, right?
I was, Stewart ran about 15.5, maybe a little quicker. I run 15.6, and Clint was in the 16.
Okay, just want to make sure that you were faster than Clint.
See you around here. Take a look at that racetrack right there. Look at that Coliseum. That's the size of this guy.
Quarter mile. This place is a decent thing.
5 valuable stage points for Kyle Busch that time, and as he went through a litany of suggestions for Ben Bayshore, he was calm as could be. Keep working on the Lincoln chassis adjustment here. 8 valuable stage points for Martin Truex Jr. His car was a little bit free on the fire rock party.
Oh, you have accomplishments. I can't believe I'm all by myself downstairs watching this. Yes!
I forgot pit road. Okay. So Kyle Larson won the race, so I pivot ice on stuff to keep the camera down. Wrap it down like this because it's still on commercial. Yep, there it is. Getting ready for stage number 2. Here, martinsville for Xfinity 500.
You only get one first bite of the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich, so you better make it the best one, which is this one here. Surprising because Kyle Larson has what is now pit stall 1, but that's really what was on pit stall 2 because of less cars in the field. They moved everything back, so keep getting right there in that first pit stall, and there's only about a 6-foot timeline to this yellow line, but they have so much gear, so much grip in the back of this car, such software springs to drive off these corners that they dropped the jack and Kyle Larson. So Kyle's pitting about right here, and this is the segment that got him. So he can accelerate out of the lane.
Okay. I hope Amir doesn't, because if he does, I'll log him out. Oh. Alright, we just hit 1 hour of this video. We're back on the way here at the Xfinity 500 at Martinsville. Elliot off to a good start.
Heard Brad Keselowski feel like there was a long run coming. We'll see if his prediction's right. We've seen him here before.
Ran way up the racetrack right there, entered really high. It's almost on the asphalt in the middle of the corner.
I've got a couple cars up there, playoff cars that have been eliminated. William Byron, the 24.
Whoa, I was Kyle Larson
the 20. You have to ask yourself with that 24, guys, what could have been? I mean, he fought his way through with Brett Bristol and then just couldn't find his way out of the Roval. But this 24 is having one of the best playoffs we've seen for a young driver. I know it's not what they're looking for, but a lot of opportunity, a lot of information being learned. First year with crew chief Rudy Fugle. I think he has a bright future.
Yeah, he's second in points earned this round. You know, looks like he was in good shape at the Roval, raced himself in, some contact late in the race, got him offline, but he and Rudy Fugle have done a really nice job. Dylan, what do you have on Christopher Bell?
Yeah, another playoff driver that has been eliminated, but has had a good last couple of weeks. 4 straight 8th or better place finishes for Christopher Bell. He's got a new voice on top of the box. Adam Stevens, the regular crew chief, of course, suspended this week after a lug nut violation. So Tyler Allen making his crew chiefing debut this afternoon. He's normally the lead engineer, but been a good day for these guys again today. They've had a lot of mistake-free days the last few weeks. It's exactly what they're having again today. Christopher just saying he's a little bit tight behind the wheel of that 20 car.
And I'll add that there you see Tyler right there. You know, we talk about communication
Tyler
at the big tracks. I think the crew chief can do a fine job from afar. But at a short track like this, you expect to have damage. Pit road opens very quickly. I know Adam Stevens is trying to control the strings from a distance. Of course he would. It's his race team. But Tyler's going to have to make some last-minute calls at some point during the day. So this is a tough place. I made my crew chiefing debut at New Hampshire, and I blinked and it was over. And it's twice the size of this racetrack. So this would be a tough place to start.
Marty, how about Ryan Blaney? How is he doing now?
Yeah, Rick, to find playoff driver Ryan Blaney, you have to go almost as back as far as you would go to find Kyle Larson. Restarted 20th. Todd Gordon told me they took a little time to fix that damage, see some tape and some bare bond on that left rear. That was the issue for Blaney when Austin Dillon made contact with him. The time now, Steve, at the end of stage 1. I think that was a wise call by this team to make sure it's right for the rest of the race.
This place, you just have to take a breath and understand that it is a long race. We talk about distance, you know, the Coca-Cola 600 or 500 in Texas a few weeks ago. It's only 500 laps. It's a half mile. You think it will be quick, but this is an absolute battle.
Alright,
I mean, you're on board right now, Ryan Blaney.
140 laps in stage 2. Final stage, of course, will be 5.
You just cannot shake them. 40 cars in a half mile.
Dang, I don't know how much I'm going to record this.
Yeah, Steve, you said it. You talked about the pressure and how quickly things happen. Well, Roger Penske on the radio just a little while ago telling Ryan Blaney, hey, look, it's a long race. Just stay cool, stay calm. That's great instructions from a guy that has seen and been around and been part of a ton of champions and championships. Great advice.
So, Jeff, are you going away from your patiently aggressive conversation earlier?
Listen, man, if you can't just ride around, okay?
I understand.
Martinsville doesn't let you do that. You have to be aggressive, but you can't cross that line, and you can't let your emotions get the better of you.
24 car here, putting a little pressure on the 18. I think Kyle Busch decided that it was probably best to allow this 24 to go. He moves over down the back straightaway. Byron moves into third position.
For what it's worth, patiently aggressive makes perfect sense to me.
Okay.
So perhaps Jeff and I have worked together for too long, but I like that quote. That I think makes perfect sense. Listen, be patient when you have to, aggressive when you have to, and just don't mess up and get them.
Get them crossed.
Yeah.
Xfinity Cam giving us a great shot from Kyle Busch back to Christopher Bell. And this is an interesting situation that's brewing here between Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch. As they're running right now on the track, it's the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. who is above the cut line. And now Kyle Busch is below that cut line. Dave.
So does Martin Truex Jr.'s crew chief, James Small, care? Listen.
Right now, as it stands on the points, I know it's early, but we're one to the crew does it, runs on Kyle. Gotcha. Yep, cool.
And the Yep 10-4 was after Martin said, yeah, but it's early. It is early. But right now they've got the advantage over their teammate, Dylan.
And his teammate, obviously, in another somewhat similarly precarious point situation. Here was Chris Gatehart's update to Denny Hamlin.
I'm not going to leave with too many details on the points, but we did gain on it. 22 cars on the lead lap. We don't need much more than that. So keep being smart here. Slow and steady. And no more speeding, of course.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Slow and steady, and Denny has finally broke into the top 10. They're getting his race car better for him too, Parker.
Right, Dylan, in the car he just passed with Joe got on that 22, now just lost a position to Bubba Wallace there as he's really struggling to handling that race car. Throughout this race, he's talked about it being very loose early in the runs, and then it built tighter to center without adding any rear grip on the exit. Paul Wolfe has been throwing adjustments, but it continues to get worse as this track rubbers up. Remember, came in here in a must-win position and slowly but surely is slipping away in the performance of that 22 car. They're going to need some major adjustments here to change the fortune around the 22.
Plenty of racing to go. Still 101 laps in stage 2. And they'll pay points there again. Chase Elliott out front here at Martinsville.
Oh, commercial break.
I can maybe eat 2 cheeseburgers and a cherry latte. What size? 44? Go bigger. Go bigger, go home. And if you're gonna do it wrong, do it right. If you're gonna eat the dessert, eat it with your shoes. Besides, drink yourself off. You got too many shoes.
Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead. Yep, that's because you all have the same internet. Xfinity X5.
over your television with a classic coming of age story. Check out new episodes every Tuesday. Listen in Sci-Fi at 10, 9 Central. And stream the latest episodes on demand. Now, want to look at a couple of series playoff standings brought to you by Xfinity. As we mentioned, there's still more points to be gained in stage 2 as they're running. Larson obviously with 2 wins. He's on the championship 4. Chase Elliott
Oh, so Chase Elliott just won stage 4, right?
Has there been any DNF so far?
No. Stop! You're gonna make my trunk get deleted. I was doing good being alone here. Can you please go back outside? Stop! Stop saying that!
Stressful, Parker.
Huh.
Well, guys, another car that's been very
Stop saying in the public room. I was doing so good being alone here.
Mom! Are you just telling me for no reason?
Next week is about base hits for this team. We need to get
Mommy!
show that we can have that performance right
Oh,
now.
Joey Gates back!
And I think a lot of this is showing how good Hendrick Motorsports is.
I am not!
The 9, the 24, the 48, and the 5.
I am not!
Kevin Harvick radioed his team that his car's not bad. They just can't maintain turn and drive off through the turn. Running about where he started. When I asked Rodney Childers how he set up for today, he said, well, I looked at 2 different races in 2 different years. Completely different aero packages.
There it is!
And the driver feedback was really
I don't know
good.
why he has to. There's the Harvick.
We'll see how it works today.
I see the black shaded. Kevin Harvick. Unibet.
Other Penske teammates
my
are
favorite
struggling. They're
Harvick.
fading, but Brad
From this year of
Keselowski
2021.
is trying to move forward and has the car to do so as he's right on the back bumper, right on that Xfinity bumper cam with Kyle Busch. Christopher Bell trying to protect his teammate, racing Brad as hard as he can.
I didn't do it.
Just a little bit. He then stacked up behind him for a lot of laps.
Christopher not wanting to be aggressive with his teammate.
I'm guessing Brad Keselowski won't have a problem moving Kyle out of the way. Marty.
Rick, it's been a solid day for Brad Keselowski, Jeremy Bollins, and the team so far. 6 stage points in stage 1. But Steve, it's quickly shaping up to be a clear scenario for Brad Keselowski and that race team. So the guys that he's racing for points, in essence, kind of racing around him, there's not enough of points ahead of Brad Keselowski, minus a win that would really get him into Phoenix in the championship 4. So I think if you're Jeremy Bollins, you're figuring out pretty quick, hey, if we want to advance to the championship 4, we're going to have to win this race.
Marty, I would go one further to say that if any of those drivers other than Hamlin and Chase Elliott thought that they were going to get through on points, that was the wrong mentality to come to Martinsville. There are 8 wins. If you look at those 5 drivers kind of racing for that
But Boeing?
8 wins between them. You had to show up here thinking it was going to take a win. It may not, but your mentality had better be win. And your aggression on the racetrack should match that.
How aggressive will the 2 be? He's got to the back bumper.
Get me!
18, Dave.
Alright, cut. Dang it!
Remember, Bayshore adjusted the car in one direction with one chassis adjustment. Tried the other one this time. They don't seem to have hit it yet.
Keselowski's there. Look to the inside. Wasn't able to complete the pass.
Well, guess what?
Larson, after
Joey
serving
Logano.
He just caught Joey Logano. Remember, Larson had to start at the tail end of the longest line, so he's come a long way from behind to go by Logano. That's got to be disheartening for the 22 and 22 fans right now. Parker.
Jeff, just one thing to add to the frustration of Joe Logano. You know you're struggling at Martinsville when your team starts telling you where the leader is in relation where you're running on track, and that's exactly what Joe Logano just got told on the radio, where the leader is and how fast he's catching him and saying that he's in turn 3, and that's just one thing that adds that frustration when you're struggling like Joe Logano is right now, and you know that now you're racing against the leader, as you see there.
The fact that the driver in 14 is being told where the leader is when we haven't even got to the halfway point of this race. That's pretty surprising.
Well, that's Martinsville. I don't think it's surprising. Well, the only surprising thing is with the wave around and the free passes, we're going to have 25 cars in the lead lap at the end of this race. A decade ago, you lapped them all, and you would have single-digit cars in the lead lap here. So this is one that, surprisingly, when you get a lap down, just relax. There's a pretty good chance you're going to get your lap back at some point.
What happened here?
And 3 wide doesn't work. See Corey LaJoy.
Oh, Corey Jones is sending Newman way up the track. Oh, Newman's smoking.
Tire rub's gotten a little bit better.
Tire rub.
Ryan Newman, but he's having to hit
The
pit
contact
road right
with
now.
Corey LaJoy right there.
We mentioned long
Looks
green runs.
and Newman, Ryan Newman's going on the pit road.
Be the one. 41 laps currently.
Oh, get out of the way, Cody Will. You lap car.
Everyone's playing
You lap
fairly
car.
nicely out on the racetrack. In Martinsville.
Yeah, but if you look in front of the leader at all the cars that he's currently lapping, everybody's starting to get a little more aggressive. That was that 3-wide battle because I think the leader is coming. You heard what Parker said. When you start hearing the leader's coming, I don't want to say panic, but the urgency, the sense of urgency goes up because you feel like, man, I can't lose another lap.
Still
Whenever
here in
you're
Martinsville.
in the field, you need to try to start racing on, save as many laps as you can as this race continues, Marty.
And 3 cars up from Chase Elliott is that car of Ryan Blaney, playoff driver, looking at going a lap down. If his teammate Brad Keselowski's prediction is true, and this is a long run, they have been struggling with the handling of the 12 car. In fact, succinct comments from Ryan Blaney a moment ago. Listen.
0, rear charge, no drive, no engine, no motor either.
Just piling it on for Ryan Blaney, who now is looking at Chase Elliott coming up in his rearview mirror quickly. Might go down a lap here.
Potentially the first playoff driver to go a lap down here at Martinsville. And Blaney still fighting to be a part of the championship 4.
Commercial, we'll be right back. Commercial break. Here in Martinsville. Xfinity 500. Back.
All new Wednesdays at 9 only on E! It's NASCAR Cup Series playoffs from Martinsville, the Xfinity 500 from the paper cup. Right now it's Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr. running 1 and 2. Those two have won the last 4 races right here. Currently running 1-2 as they were 1-2 in the spring as well. Rut.
Rick, I'm back here above the backstretch. I'm getting a really good perspective for how some of these drivers are changing their lines on the brake. We heard Junior talk about the next-gen car and how strong those brakes felt. So, Junior, I'm wondering, for you as a driver
you didn't have the braking performance that you would need late in the race. You tend to get a lot of yellows at the end of this race. Guys charge in the corner, guys right on your back bumper pushing you into the corner. And when you heat up the fronts and the rears start working too well and the fronts go away, the car gets really loose on entry, and we see a lot of guys wheel hop into the corner here late in the run. So I would always try to take care of my brakes and lift early, use less brake early in the race, first half of the race, and that would pay off late in the day.
See Denny Hamlin right here. Look at the line he's running. Denny Hamlin's driven up 8th place, just got by Harvick.
3 cars in the wall up here in turn 1 and 2. I think he's got a right front tire down.
Oh, caution!
And the caution comes
Oh,
out.
Austin Dillon. Oh, God, he hit the fence.
So Austin Dillon, after that contact that he had made with the 12 of Ryan Blaney, now looks like the
Oh,
right
God,
front
he has a
tire
tire going down.
He was running in the 18th spot.
God. I
And
was still trying
this
to
is
18th
the
when that happened.
First caution to come out for an incident on the track.
Like this. I was still trying to
Blaney. Right there. Blaney was
see
close
what
to getting
tape
lapped.
back there from the contact earlier from
Teammate Joe
Blaney.
Logano not
And
far
now
in
he
front
hit
of
the
him either.
fence. Oh, no, Austin Dillon.
Going up the racetrack a little bit.
Let's see what happened. He's go way too high.
Obviously some sort of issue with the right front. I don't know if he had contact with another car or just a overheated bead on the inside edge of that
Big hit right
tire.
there.
Really surprising. Maybe some of that
Bam! Into the
rubbing the tire, but
fence.
late in the run here, you wouldn't imagine that the tire rub was the problem.
Well, also with no
It
fender
sucks
on
for
the race
Austin
bar,
Dillon.
much of a fender, then it's so
Every
much
Jim
easier to
McLeod
make
has
contact
that
with somebody and cut your
Halloween.
tire. Fender protects it just a little bit.
Oh, God. Well, that sucks
Now
for
look, you
Austin
drivers
Dillon.
can't have the fender to protect the push and shove and pull the right front tire. As the crew chief in this other booth, I can cut the fender off or I can put the fender back on.
I want my fenders. I don't want the fender.
You know the fender.
I don't know why this ain't working out for Austin. I really don't. I expect to see majority of the field pit. That was a pretty long run. 57 green flag laps right here. The tires are starting to wear, so we'll see if everybody's can mind their P's and Q's and more importantly mind the pit road speed. We've had a couple speeding penalties already, Dave.
Martin Truex Jr. gave a long explanation of his race car, things that James Small could do to help it. But remember, Martin's running second, so they're just really nitpicking and working on things for Truex's car. As for Kyle Busch, though, he said it on the radio, I need help. They're going to make a longer adjustment here. They're going to pull a packer, I believe, on the left front to try to get it off of the right side tires so he can get some, quote, left side attachment, Marty.
Brad Keselowski said, I'm just losing rear drive as I go along. He said the car rotates better, but they can point their cars better than I can at the 2/3 mark of the corner, so a little bit tight for Brad Keselowski. Meanwhile, Chase Elliott, quick stop for that bunch. He said, really, the car was pretty good, just lacking, just taking care of the
Martin Truex Jr. wins for South Pillow. Jenny 500. We got row number 1. We have Hot Wings, the champion. Row number 2, Sushi Roll. Looking for the first one. And row number 3, Cheeseburger, who has dominated, of course. And Tacos would be upset, has a line of delivery, and now gets first career win.
That's why Progressive Car Insurance covers your pets for up to $1,000 if trapped in a car accident with you. This mini majorette's gonna march your way right in.
Sorry, can we stop? I know that we're selling car insurance here, but, you know, all the cute little animals, it's too much. Define too much.
Coca-Cola Zero Sugar commercial. We're back.
Take care of your equipment. I can't help much on the racetrack, but I can coach my driver to remind him to keep those brakes cool and the fenders intact.
This racetrack and this point system will test your values and your morals. What are you willing to do to get done what you need?
Unless you're Dale Jr., then I'm going to tell you to tear the right front fender up.
Yeah.
I can tear it and cut it off. So I used to think he was crazy, but there are too many examples of it being removed as an improvement. So I'm going to, this is a check mark in the Dale Jr. column for Martinsville. I believe he's right. No fender, an advantage.
Martin Truex Jr. on the inside, Chase Elliott on the outside.
Green flag.
We start
Back
here.
of the way here. Xfinity
57 laps to
500
go
at
in stage
Martinsville. 57 to go in stage 2. Truex out typically. Oh God.
Kyle Larson has worked his way back up into the top 10.
Yep.
Chase making that outside work pretty good right here. Was wondering how hard he might race.
Uh.
Truex. Wow, dives deep down in the corner. Truex gets popped.
Whoa! Oh God! Oh God!
Corner exit.
Elliott out front, Martin Truex Jr. back to second now, and here comes Alex Bowman working the outside.
Alex Bowman, come on, Bowman. I understand you're not in the playoffs, but just come on, do something today.
That's what Chase Elliott's looking forward to, man. All his teammates getting up in here and hassling and frustrating. He drives away.
Really tight there. We saw from the Xfinity cam, Kyle Busch really close to that 48's Bowman.
And another speeding penalty on that pit stop, this time to 8. Tyler Reddick got a speeding ticket too fast on pit road.
See Alex Bowman, he's caught up on the outside. He knows if he doesn't get clear, he can't clear the 18, what's coming. Here it is, Christopher Bell. There's a little bit of contact. Now to the bottom.
He took the spot.
Yeah, that was great work. Just that little bit of contact hurt the 20 car. Was able to get in front of him. Parker.
Well, Jeff Dale was alluding to that Chase Elliott would like to see his teammates up there maybe holding off some of these other cars, and I spoke to Greg Eyes about that exact scenario, and he said, you know, that's part of our role here, to run really well, and if Chase is not in position to win, to at least take away points from those cars that he's competing against, but also if they can get up there where he's in position to win, to be that buffer between those cars to allow him to go on to the championship course. So sort of a dual role. Have a great run if you're the 24, the 48, and also do what you can to help that motorsport have a chance at a championship.
It's interesting how teammates work together nowadays.
William Byron applying the pressure now to Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. running in that second spot. Remember, Chase Elliott coming into this race, he had 34 points above what Ryan Blaney had as far as points, and that put him fairly comfortable in second. What he needs to do after winning stage 1 and getting those 10 stage points, if he finishes 7th or better in this stage, he's locked in. Doesn't have to worry about anything else happening the rest of the race. He will be locked into the championship four.
You can see the 18 car trying to try a high entry into turn 3 the lap before. Hard to do that, though, with a guy right behind you who's going to try to go into that hole. The high entry is a way for you to try to turn the car in the middle of the corner and exit low and get in the throttle sooner to be able to drive up underneath the car. But you cannot do that if you have somebody behind you trying to fill that hole in that high entry.
These restarts are crazy. Everybody gets piled up together. Here's Joey Logano, been struggling all day. He and Eric Jones making contact all the way down the straightaway.
Oh, Logano and
Hope that doesn't cause a tire rub for either one of those guys. See right here, riding along with the Ford cam. That's just Martinsville racing. Marty.
Jeff, you got to wonder what else could go wrong for Ryan Blaney and his team in 18th right now. And when they came down pit road last time, Zach Price, the rear tire changer, the socket literally snapped off the gun when he was doing the last tire. Thankfully, Zach quickly reacted to that, came and grabbed the backup gun, and was able to get the tire change done. So they did lose a few spots here on pit road. But, man, they have had a tough day with the car, tough day on pit road. But the team doing all they can to keep Blaney in the game.
Well, if you're on the lead lap with about 150 to go, you're in the game because a lot of things are going to happen in this final stage. Well, unfortunately, haven't scored those stage points that are so important, but still in the lead lap. A lot of racing still to go.
Blaney right now running in the 18th position. There are only 20 cars on the lead lap.
Eric Jones doing such a good job in that 43 car. Richard Petty's got a lot of clocks from Martinsville in his career. They brought a pretty good car for Eric today. Got close to the wall where it was right there. Almost touching it. So difficult right here for Blaney trying to make this fast. You can see Eric Jones is right behind Logano.
Look at this. William Byron is going to get by Martin Truex Jr.
Truex trying to cross over, get underneath him. Falls back in line. 24 cars a little faster right now. Then Martin will see if Byron can drive away. Back here behind him, though, the other Hendrick teammate, Alex Bowman, trying to get around 18 and Kyle Busch on the inside. That'll be a little bit more difficult. How about Eric Jones on the outside? Right here trying to make this pass on Logano. It's weird how this outside line, we've watched a lot of guys here around this racetrack, especially deep into the run, make that outside line work. Right there in the middle of the corner. I mean, it's just so much faster on the bottom, but that corner exit run in that top lane, it just lets you just launch and lots of rip.
Bowman was able to get by Busch. Now Kyle Busch back on the fifth.
It also shows you just how poorly this car is running for Logano.
Okay. Alright, now my dad's computer is fully charged.
Blaney and Logano running 17 to 18. Playoff drivers. Chase Elliott's out front. With Byron behind him.
Alright, we'll be right back.
One crispy Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich for you, and a delicious crispy spicy one for whoever needs a little kick in the keister. Get the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich in classic or spicy for just $3.99. It's finger-licking good.
I'm going to open up 2 beers. Okay. You tell me which sounds more refreshing.
Gotcha.
This one? Or this one?
Bush. Definitely the one that went Bush. What beer is that?
Are you being serious?
Yes.
It's Bush.
Right.
Bush. Pringles original. Pizza. It's a barbecue pizza stack.
Where is everyone?
Pringles. Endless flavors to stack.
Gorgeous weekend for camping, and so many are taking advantage of it here at Martinsville. Our area company brought to you by Geico. As we look onto this half-mile paperclip,
They did.
let's actually go
Yes, I did.
right along with a few of
I'm
these.
doing good so far.
And look at how hard they're going through it. Half-mile Martinsville Speedway.
Sorry about that, guys. I just have to wash my hands. But we're back here for Xfinity 500. I'm on here.
Drivers, I know Kyle Larson has mentioned that he will look to the infield scoreboard to see where he's running and who's around him. Were you guys doing that as well when you were racing here at Martinsville?
At every racetrack, you're trying to figure out what lap you're on, and a lot of times you hate to ask the crew chief because you don't want him to think you're being lazy. But you're like, well, what lap are we on? And you look at the scoreboard, you're like, oh man, I thought we were way further into this race.
Scoreboard.
Always disappointing. Some tracks are better than others. Some tracks have great score pylons that you can really see well. Like Atlanta, Charlotte, those places, you had a great place you can see down the front straightaway.
I'll go one further, Rick. There were a few races that Dale and I were together, and he would all of a sudden just, hey, so-and-so's having a pretty good day. and I literally be like, how does he know that? You know, and he's like, I'm checking the scoreboard. And so, excited to see that guy running well. And it wasn't like we were having a bad day. Half the time that was behind us. And I was like, man.
That's multitasking.
Yeah, multitasking. It was impressive.
So teammates side by side here. Denny Hamlin, he's worked his way up into the top 10. Now fighting for that 6th spot with teammate Kyle Busch.
And I think this is what frustrates everybody about Denny Hamlin, right? When we look at drivers that have great success here, Hamlin comes to mind, right? Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, so many wins. Denny Hamlin's part of that group. And he just does it in this own signature way where we've seen him up front leading laps, and then other races, drivers, he's just kind of around. And then in that last 100, last 150, maybe the last 200, he shows up in the top 4, the top 5. And he seems to his car looks pretty good. It's completely intact. And he has still a good race car to drive. And he goes up there and takes the win away.
Dylan.
And they know that these type of racetracks are their bread and butter. Denny obviously grew up racing on tracks like this and has had so much success here. But the Joe Gibbs Racing cars, specifically that 11 car, feel like these type of racetracks, these 750 horsepower, the slower type racetracks have been better for them this year. So a couple of good tracks to end the year too as we go to Phoenix, of course, next week. But they're still a little bit tight. Forward drive is better, but still trying to get the center to turn a little better for the 11, Dave.
Dylan, they haven't hit it yet for Kyle Busch, and Kyle's looking in every direction, including his own.
Any help would be appreciated. With driver technique, I don't know. The main thing is they're just dragging a little bit more brake down into the corner. Driving in maybe a half car length deeper, holding brake longer.
Way to go, crew chief Bayshore. I'm willing to play, sure. Maybe it's this or that, and driving it in a little bit deeper, maybe that will help, but Kyle's really searching right now.
That's what I love about this racetrack, man. It's not just, brake the same as everybody else, run the same line as everybody else. It was amazing to me how much you can change what you're doing inside the car with the brake pedal, the gas pedal, your line, all types of things the driver can do here to help the car change the way the car performs, help the crew chief understand how to work on the car, where you need help. Makes it such a fun racetrack, but that 18 car is still struggling here. A guy who's not. 10 car just went right around him there. Almirola having a great run today.
Almirola, this is the kind of racetrack that he's been really good on. Remember New Hampshire won earlier this year. I mean, he dominated the last portion of that race so fast. This is the kind of track, this horsepower, downforce package that fits Eric Almirola really well.
When we talked to him earlier, he was saying he was kind of questioning this season. That hasn't gone the way he'd wanted to. Well, not as well as obviously the costumes that they make for Halloween. This is a great time of the year for the Almirola family. They make their own costumes every year. So
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Right now, Almirola putting in that 7th spot here in the top 10.
Yep.
He's closing in on trying to track down Denny Hamlin, and we were talking about Denny and running well here. Denny came up in the late model stock ranks, and they run a 300 lapper here at Martinsville every year, and that's kind of the Daytona 500 for the Southeastern late model stock division. And I think he prides himself at running well at this racetrack with that connection that series and those type of cars have with this racetrack. And he's kind of knew how to get around here before he ever got in a race car and ran in the Cup Series at this level.
Of the active drivers, Denny Hamlin, he has the most wins at 5 here at Martinsville. We go NASCAR nonstop. You won't miss a thing.
That's for nonstop time.
These are the people who work on the front lines. They need a network that's built right. That's why we created Verizon Frontline, the advanced network and technology for first responders. Built on America's most reliable network. Built for real interoperability and built for 5G. It's America's #1 network in public safety. Verizon Frontline, built right for first responders.
Yeah, I just saved a whole lot of money by switching to Geico.
Huh. We should take a closer look at Geico.
You know, Geico insures way more than cars, boats, motorcycles, even RVs.
Geico insures RVs? What's an RV?
The thing we've been stuck on for 5 years.
Wait, I'm not a real moose?
We've been over this, Jeff.
We're stickers.
I'm not a real moose. Give him some space.
Deep breaths, Jeff.
What's a sticker?
Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more.
Sam here is anxious he won't be approved for that new credit card. So he's procrastinating. Like, really procrastinating. But that changes now, because Sam looked for Karma Confidence on Credit Karma to see curated credit card offers with outstanding approval odds. So what will he use his new credit card for? Makes sense. See your offers and apply with Karma Confidence today. Credit Karma, from free credit scores to tailored card offers and everything in between. Download the app today.
Your turn.
Let's get pressure.
I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes.
Rated R, now streaming only on Peacock.
We're back.
You're watching the Nascar Cup Series playoffs. Xfinity 500 from Martinsville Speedway. One organization coming into this race, and this round of 8 has 3 cars in it, the Penske organization. Right now, though, Parker, doesn't seem like they're running that well.
Well, Rick, the 12 there, Brian Blaney, seems to be picking it up a little bit. But I had an interesting conversation with Paul Wolf, who's a crew chief on the 22 for Joe Delgado earlier today, about the setup they run these Team Penske cars at Martinsville. They've been very fast over the last couple of years. He said, you know, this is something that we hit on back when I worked with Brad in 2015 and 2016, and we've just evolved it over the years. He said, really, all 3 cars run almost the exact same setup. So I wonder, when you see the 12 struggling so early on, and Steve, I want to throw this at you, and then you see the 22 start struggling, and now the 12 is picking up. We know these crew chiefs and teams have communication between each other on the box. What are you asking, if you're Paul Wolf, to Todd Gordon? Hey, what are you changing? What are you asking him about how to make that 22 better, seeing that 12 suddenly start to be faster?
Well, absolutely. When you talk about organizations and information being shared, I would always look at tire pressure. Are they where I am? What adjustments have they made? What are they trying to fix? Because even if the setups are the same, we just heard about all the different ways you can drive this racetrack from Jeff and Dale. So, you know, maybe even go into SMT data and look at how the driver is driving it, because perhaps it's not an adjustment. Maybe the car is improving because the driver's adapting and finding a new way to drive it for the track conditions today. So that's all the reams of information that the crew chiefs have in front of them.
Side by side.
Maybe the racetrack is changing as well.
Doing Steve too. Elliot's still a fun. Alex Bowman in second. Balance first. Alex Bowman handling out at the top 5.
He's turning some pretty decent lap times now, trying to get around Kyle Busch for the 8th position. It just takes 50 laps for the car to come in. That's way too long for the car to kind of activate the way you want it, Steve.
Well,
Let me check the trainer.
fire off is the problem. You know, short run speed. Everybody talks about long runs, and it's great to say, oh, after 50 laps, my car drives great, but you normally lose so much time in so many positions, you just can't make it up. Stage racing has really changed the focus. I think you have to be more focused on the short run than ever, which is funny because when I think of Team Penske, they are normally short run cars at all of the short tracks.
Up the racetrack he goes. Kyle Busch seeing that opportunity, close the gap. Brown Keselowski stays up in front of him.
Kyle's lost a few spots these last few laps. And Truex running fourth, Kyle running ninth now, giving some points away to his teammate.
Okay. I'm shooting out stage 2. Coming up on the white flag.
As they come up on 1 to go.
White flag.
Stage 2.
Alex Bowman trying to get passed by Tyler Reddick right there.
Through this traffic.
He's in 20s.
Take care of the car, keep the fenders on it. I don't think he's going to have any problems.
Here we go. Now Elliott's trying to get passed by Chase Briscoe. Elliott's still in the lead.
The first 2 stages
Here
in
we
a race,
go.
but only one of
Off the final corner, Chase Elliott's going to win stage 1 and stage 2.
Here at Martinsville, Alex Bowman.
Alright, Chase Elliott wins stage 1 and stage 2 at Martinsville. Final stage. It all comes down to this who can make it to the championship
Chase
4.
Elliott now has locked himself in to the championship 4. So 2 drivers have been determined.
Alright, Chase Elliott, last year's champions advanced.
The 5.
Kyle Larson.
With his
Now,
2 wins already
now
in this
who
round.
else is going to advance the championship?
Stage 1 and 2 here at Martinsville.
December 2nd on NBC. Place your legal sports bets at PlaySugarHouse.com, your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. We have tons of bets available during games, from money lines, point spreads, prop bets, play-by-play bets, and many more. PlaySugarHouse.com offers live streaming of events worldwide. That's right, you can bet on the game as you're watching. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your sports bets at PlaySugarHouse.com. If you're moving, make sure you power your new home with the connectivity experience it deserves. And that's with the latest technology from Optimum. Our 1 gig internet will connect all your devices without slowing down. And paired with our smart Wi-Fi 6 and new gateway, you'll get 3 times faster speeds and greater coverage than previous Wi-Fi technology. Plus, our entertainment experience comes with streaming apps and more built right in. Make your move with the power to keep your whole home connected with the latest technology from Optimum. Call today to get a great movers deal only from Optimum. Wrap up your Halloween weekend tonight at Sports Final.
We saw Travis Pastrana here earlier.
Travis Pastrana here.
As 3 rounds remaining, and Kyle Busch is going to be racing in one of those rounds.
Oh God.
What an incredible setting. Travis Pastrana designing the courses. Again, as I mentioned, 3 rounds remaining. You see Wild Horse Pass, Motorsports Park, Phoenix, Arizona. That's where Kyle Busch will be racing against the likes of Travis Pastrana, Scott Speed, Tanner Faust. So much fun, and it was great talking with Travis earlier here in the booth. He came up and chatted with us too. Such an exciting character.
Alright, pit stops. We're underway.
Got to 5th at the end
Pit
of that
stops
stage.
underway here in
Keep said,
Martinsville.
get your left front on the sign. You've been a little bit too far into the box. Happy with the race car. Exit has improved, just needs to turn a little better. 4 tires and fuel for the 11, Dave.
15 total stage points earned from Martin Truex today. Will it be enough short of a win? A little bit tighter that run, Marty.
Alan Gustafson confirmed to Chase Elliott. We are locked in, so let's go race.
Alright, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott are locked into the championship. Now, who are going to be the last 2 that will be advanced to the championship? Making it. Alright, so Chase Elliott wins his up 2 well. Bowman 2nd, Hamlin 4th, Allen 4th, 5 and 5th, Truex 6th, Bell 7th, 8th, Larson, Cowboys 9th, and Brad Keselowski rounds up the top 10 on pivot. We'll be right back for final stage to do the tournament. The last 2 will make it in the championship.
Your truck better. It's a no-brainer. Weather test.
laser measured floor liners that fit perfectly in the front and rear. Underseat storage system keeps your cargo organized. Roll up truck bed cover protects your cargo bed. Bump steps to guard the rear bumper, no drill mud flap, and of course cup phone for your phone. Boom, better truck. Hope you were paying attention. Now remember, get all your American-made protection at WeatherTech.com.
Subway has so much news, so they asked the fastest guy they could find to tell you now you can eat fresh and fast with this Subway delivery. Nice work. Now do the logo. Order down.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language. And she really loves her grandson. Like really loves.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop. And we're the Antonellis. Do good, eat good.
That's our mission.
We chose our new Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because it gives us unlimited 2% cash back on everything we buy.
And it has no preset spending limit, so our purchasing power adapts to our business needs. We use our 2% cash back to help cover our employees' healthcare costs.
That's how we take care of our most valuable asset.
Our people. It may sound cheesy,
but we like it that way. What's in your wallet?
This arsonist's methods are escalating with every church he goes after. He's getting ready for something big.
What's his next target? Is this right here, Bob? Evacuate the building now!
I can't help but notice the tension in your unit.
What do you want from me? I don't trust you. I can't have you in my unit if you don't trust me.
Then kick me off it.
Been trying to win here so many years. I've wanted to win here so bad. This place is so special to me.
Checker flag and his first Martinsville win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. takes it over Jeff Gordon.
I wanted that grandfather clock ever since I was a little boy, and I got it today. My team, we all came together, and I couldn't be prouder. We're gonna drink a lot of beer tonight. That's what's gonna happen.
Set the clock to celebration. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins at Martinsville.
And Steve, obviously being a part of that very special moment for Junior, giving him that opportunity as the crew chief on that team.
Well, this place is every crew chief's dream. You grow up at Saturday night tracks all across the country, and it's not about aerodynamics and horsepower, it's about making a car handle. And that's what Martinsville's all about. And it was a great time. It was a special win, and I can confirm that Dale Jr. does not make a challenge about how many beers you're going to drink without following through with that challenge. It was a late night, Junior, but we had a great time. That was a special win, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I grew up in a house that had a lot of those grandfather clocks in it, so I always wanted to get that trophy. And it's no different than every grandfather clock that you can go buy down the street, but you can only get that one here at this place. And by winning a race here, it really is a unique trophy. And, short track racing is fun too. Beating and banging.
It's awesome. And who's not having fun?
About to go green here again.
A lot of speed penalties today. The latest one, Kyle Busch, got to go to the back.
Chase Elliott on the outside. Alex Bowman on the inside.
He's like back in the air.
Teammates diving into turn number 1. Almirola right here in row 2, though, adding some pressure. Elliott able to clear the 48 as he goes into 3. Almirola a little sideways there as he went through 3 and 4, losing a little bit of ground, and now the 11 of Denny Hamlin adding pressure to the inside.
You said it a minute ago, Steve. Look up, and here's the 11 car. Remember, started dead last, had a speed penalty on top of that, and here he is in 3rd spot.
And you have to imagine that the Hinder teammates all have that information that their teammate Chase Elliott is locked in. That kind of changes the way that they get to run the rest of this race and how aggressive they can be in and around that 9 car. They have fast race cars. They can go get themselves a clock today. Now with their teammate locked in, they can try to do it, but they're going to have to contend with this 11 car. He drives right by the 48 there for 2nd place.
His Hinder teammates, they've been up front all day.
We got
Justin Haley.
Justin Haley's car. And so Haley
Oh, that's like
looks like the engine has expired. Still no caution has come out. Oh, maybe it's just left rear tire.
Yeah,
just like you saw in Stark
pipes. Oh, yeah. Big damage on the left rear. Big rub on the left rear tire for the 77 of Haley.
So who has the right side damage?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he didn't run the left side into the wall.
No.
Definitely
Still
hit
green.
car somewhere. And good job by Nascar, not trigger happy on the caution flag there and allowing this race to continue to run. I too thought there was an engine issue or some sort of drivetrain failure there.
So Haley off the racetrack, and he'll be running full-time in the Cup Series next year.
You see the 47
And just
car.
Haley will be in that Colleague Racing 16 car next year
You see a lot of damage on the left rear quarter panel with the 22 car.
How about the 14 of Chase Briscoe? This track usually chews up inexperienced drivers, rookie drivers. The 14, he's had some moments out there today, but here he is on the lead lap, trying to run all the laps, pushing and shoving with Logano and those guys, doing a nice job.
See what Logano was doing right there? He did not give the 14 any room. He put Chase Briscoe right against the curb. He did that because that made Chase Briscoe turn the steering wheel a lot harder. And it's hard to get your car to leave the corner like that, Parker.
And they held him off, but Logano continued
Maybe
to
finished
struggle.
second in the spring race back in April.
A very long stop under the latest caution. They actually put a packer in the left front to try and get that splitter off the ground and help that center turn, the 22, while keeping that drive off on exit, but just continuing to struggle and not being able to find the speed here, Dave.
Chase Briscoe's problem in the 14 car on the start of the day was that he started 22nd and didn't go very far. Got passed by the leader, got a lap down. Got the free pass back a couple of cautions ago. He was told, make sure you don't speed and below that. He didn't, and the 14 has gotten better all day. They've been working on it.
77 of Justin Haley back to pit row with still 4 repairs needed on this car. A lot of damage to that left rear quarter panel and not able to get that tire rub remedy just yet.
We mentioned how playoff drivers race against non-playoff drivers. Well, the top 10, it's scattered with both. You have Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, both playoff drivers with Alex Bowman, William Byron and Eric Almirola all in the top 5. Then Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, and then it's Christopher Bell and Kurt Busch, non-playoff drivers running in the 8th and 9th position. Brad Keselowski rounding out the top 10.
So this is interesting. The 11 car fired off really quick, got around the 48 now. As we run a few more laps, 48 cars come to life. Denny, I think, is going to probably allow him to go ahead and have that position back, but the 24 Byron's going to want that position as well.
That 48 car right there, Dale, very impressive how it just rolls right around the curve. I mean, it is right around the bottom. Normally, a little bit into a run like this, 13 laps, you start to see a little tightness. I think that's what the 11's fighting, but these other two Hendrick cars, both the 48 and the 24, can stay connected to that curve all the way around the corner.
Steve, what is it about this racetrack that Hendrick has been so good? What did you guys figure out over there?
I really believe that it started with Jeff Gordon's success here, and he then allowed the organization to build good cars and have good direction because he understood what he needed. So that kind of helped us find success here. And then, the awful situation with the plane crash, this place became more than just a regular race to Hendrick Motorsports. This really is treated like the Daytona 500. As long as I worked here, for 20 years, we had brand new Martinsville cars, not just any car, brand new Martinsville cars being built every single year. The amount of effort and focus that went into this racetrack was exorbitant, and it was what the owner wanted, and we all knew that as crew chiefs and engineers and drivers. And I think from there, you got to remember, Hendrick Motorsports kind of was created here.
Yeah, Rick's home track, really.
Yeah, and Jeff Bodine's win is what got the doors open. There's just a lot of history here, and you know it's important. So when you work there, what you give a guy that seems to have everything is the trophy he wants, and Rick Hendrick likes to grandfather clocks.
Well, Hendrick has led all. Oh! Sorry, he's got a car in the wall. Bubba Wallace in the wall in the middle of the
Bubba Wallace is in the fence.
Gotten back off the wall underway.
Yeah, Bubba and Eric Jones were.
He kept it going.
A lot of paint
over
the last couple of laps, and Eric Jones a little fed up with that 23 car sitting down in turn 3 of the racetrack. No contact with the wall. Was able to avoid that, but I'm sure Bubba's not pleased.
A racetrack where payback often happens, and Maybe not only from this race, but maybe from a race previous.
We just hit 2 hours.
he just got shipped out into the corner. Did a nice job. And then, Steve, you were talking about Hendrick Motorsports and how good they are. Here's why. The second half of the corner, Alex Bowman able to just put the left side tires on that curve while accelerating, was able to get underneath Denny Hamlin. It looks easy to do, but that is the most difficult thing about Martinsville, is to be able to roll the center and also stay on the bottom with full throttle. Here's the damage from the 77. See the left rear tire rub. Not sure who got into him there, but
what happened earlier.
Clearly a big rub.
Chase Elliott still out front. He has led 207.
I will be right back. Chase Elliott still leads here at Martinsville.
This isn't just free. These aren't just shipments. They're promises. Big promises, small promises, cuddly shaped promises. Each with a time and a place they've been promised to be. And the people of Old Dominion never turn away a promise. Or overpromise. Or make an empty promise. We keep them. A promise is everything to Old Dominion. Because it means everything to you.
Okay, I'm up. 5 more minutes. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
We get out. Fired up. Hook big ones. We get out and rip it. And we track them down. So crack a Mountain Dew. Get out and do.
Driver Eric Jones races the legendary Richard Petty number 43 car to drive down the cost of healthcare for the benefit of hardworking Americans overcharged by hospitals who hide their prices. It's now the law. Hospitals must post all prices up front. We invite you to get behind the wheel. Demand hospital prices. It's our health. It's our money to save. Power to the patients.
Why is everyone around?
Hey, Max.
Dr. Joy.
Let's take a look at the Toyota driver update. We'll focus in on the 18 of Kyle Busch. And again, a speeding penalty sent him to the back. When he came into this race, he was above the cut line to make that championship 4. Now he is below it, 18 points. Now behind Martin Truex Jr., who has the final spot. There will be 2 positions gained by points, guaranteed in this race. Potentially 3, but we know for sure 2 will be by points. And right now, it's Denny Hamlin who's
back.
41 points above the cut line, and Martin Truex Jr. 14 above the cut line.
One guy having a pretty good run today, non-playoff driver Chris Buescher in that 17 car, chasing down his future team owner Brad Keselowski for 11th position. Chris has been in the top 15 3 of the last 4 here at Martinsville, so not surprised by the run they're having today, but quietly putting together a great showing. I bet Brad, when he saw the 12 go by, he started asking his crew chief, what are the changes that they're making to that car that made the gains he's made? What can we do to try to do the same thing to my car to get speed back in this 2 car so he can move forward and improve the performance?
2 was pretty good early in the race, and they've started to fall backwards. He's fallen all the way back to 11th. His teammate Ryan Blaney really struggled in a big way, but there you see Ryan Blaney in front of Brad Keselowski now. He's in 9th place, and he has enough pace to run top 5 right now. Not as fast as the Hendrick cars, but good enough pace, so major improvements on that car.
But the problem is that Blaney missed playoff points in Stage 1 and Stage 2, and that's why now is a must-win situation. Had he had this speed earlier and gained enough points, he would still be able to point his way in possibly, but now it's a must-win. He's got to drive through these guys, somehow come out of here with a win to be able to advance into Phoenix.
Yeah, this race probably is the most pivotal as far as a championship goes. You have to make it into the championship 4, and it all comes down to this race right here. Let's go through the field. We'll focus in on the playoff drivers. We'll start with Marty.
Quarterback Chase Elliott making it look easy today. 221 laps led. He just clicks off that number right now. In the lead, obviously, right now. He won 3 of the 4 elimination races last year, including this one. It put him in the championship 4. Well, he's already in the championship 4 now, but would love to tack on another win here at Martinsville, Dylan.
Chris Gabehart reminded Denny Hamlin, who has slid back to 4th, that this part of the run all day has been the strong suit for Hendrick. So cars starting to come back around here as the laps click off for Denny. Said it fired off a little loose in on this run, then it got tight in the center, but it's coming back to him now. Expect to see the 11 start to march a little bit further forward, Dave.
The winner of this race in April, at this track in April.
Yep, Marquez Jr.
Points position right now is good. He's to the positive side, but he's got some drive off envy.
Whatever it is, they all got it. Heard it better than me as a rover. The engine's powered out better also. I can drive in so deep. If I do that, I just get loose. Yeah, copy. Just focus on my yoga out.
That's Martin talking about the Hendrick Motorsports cars. He's tired of getting passed by him, Marty.
Hey, Dave, we've talked all day long that this is a learning session for Kyle Larson, who admits Martinsville not his best track. To prove that, this is what every run sounds like from Cliff Daniels. Listen.
Entry speed is great. Exit speed looks good. You're taking care of the rears like you need to. Make sure you don't overrun the fronts in the center, and you look really good. Take a minute while you are running them down to let the stuff cool off a little bit in terms of just overall abuse on the fronts and the rears on exit.
So even a driver who's won 9 times this year, learning as he goes along. He's led 77 laps today and pretty much kept it in the top 10 all day long. Ryan Blaney back in the 9th position. Yes, they have made the car drastically better. In fact, Blaney's been popping into the top 5. Here's credit to Todd Gordon. Man, they were out to lunch in stage 1. Stage 2, they have made adjustments on this race car, put Blaney back in the game. To the point you made it a moment ago, though, guys, he knows they have to win if they want to be able to advance in the championship 4. And Brad Keselowski sitting in 11th, still struggling with that loose on entry condition. And the battle for the lead shaping up, guys, between teammates here.
Yeah, here comes Alex Bowman in the 48. He has definitely put the pressure on the 9 of Chase Elliott now.
Oh, they're spinning in front of him.
The caution comes out and up the racetrack. With the 52,
oh, Josh Blicky
brings the caution out.
Caution's out. We got 52, Josh Blicky. Spoiler Joy's also involved in this wreck. See damage on the 7 car. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's see what happened.
Get down the corner. Michael thinks that he's going to go to the inside of the 7 here of Corey LaJoy. Little contact. Corey sends him up the track into the 52.
What are you doing, LaJoy?
With the outside wall.
I mean, I still like LaJoy.
Heavy damage to the rear clip of that car.
Wow, he's spun. That 52 car, Josh Blicky.
17 will have to work on that tire rub on the left rear and damage to that car as well. So tough day for all these guys.
Yeah, Josh Blicky has damage.
Trying to make laps here,
LaJoy. He has like the most damage.
So it makes this place just so difficult. You know, we talked about how exhausting it is.
Oh,
Well, you can treat it. You know, even a car that's off the pace can't really get out of the way. There's not a lot of space to go.
Crucial pit stop coming up here for Keselowski. We've seen Blaney's been able to make his car better. Can Keselowski make the changes that he needs? Logano, can he make the changes he needs to get better?
Austin Dillon in the 3 car gets the free pass. We will be back on the lead lap. That'll put 21 on the
Balance was coming back. Denny Hamlin along the run. On throttle security was the biggest thing. So not expecting a ton of changes. They've been pretty minimal so far today. 4 tires and fuel for the 11 days.
Confusing thing for Martin Truex is that the car's been a little bit different in its ill-handling ways the last 2 runs. Slight adjustment here to try to balance it, Marty.
The lead was under threat from his teammates. So Chase Elliott saying, we lost a little bit of rear drive, but to be honest, the car kind of drove the way I wanted it to. So they decided to make no changes here on the 9 car. Meanwhile, for his teammate Kyle Larson, said he got tighter the longer he ran. They're going to try and fix that center of the corner for Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott and his team easily win the race off pit road, though.
And Denny Hamlin stepping it up once again. His team gains 2 spots on pit road, so it'll be Elliott and Hamlin. It'll be 1 and 2.
I'll be right back. Let's go turn ignition.
This is so crispy, juicy, and tender. You might even call it deluxe. Okay, now you can definitely call it deluxe. McDonald's Deluxe Crispy Chicken Sandwich. Here's a good Halloween trick. Buy a bunch of Reese's. There you go. Turn off all the lights in your house. Yeah. And then just don't answer the door. I'm sorry, Reese's.
I'm going to open up 2 beers. Okay. You tell me which sounds more refreshing. Gotcha. This one? Or this one?
Foolish.
Definitely the one that went bush. What beer is that? Are you being serious? Yes. It's Bush. Right.
Foolish.
NASCAR on NBC is brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Visit GoCreditOne.com. Ram Trucks, the only truck brand to win Motor Trend Truck of the Year 3 years in a row. And by Xfinity. Do more of what you love with faster internet. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. And Rutt, you have to be enjoying this beautiful afternoon here in Martinsville.
Oh, Rick, it's incredible. I know there's tons of families out there getting ready to go trick-or-treating with their kids. I know I've got a nurse, an M&M, and a cheerleader at home. And as I'm up here, we saw that Halloween-themed paint scheme Josh Blickey's car go around. It made me think, Dale, just what's the best Halloween costume you've ever had?
Well, I always wanted to be a football player when I was a little boy, so I had this football generic, no number, red jersey. Had the pants, the pads, the shoulder pads, helmet, and everything. Old plastic helmet with a 2-bar. And I wore that thing like 4 years in a row. It was awesome, man. Everybody's like, man, you want to be something different? I'm like, no, football.
What the?
Gene Simmons.
Ew!
Really?
Oh, my God.
That really has
I
thrown
need to see pictures of this.
They're over there somewhere.
Steve, what about you? You remember?
No.
Mine was Evel Knievel. I went as Evel Knievel once. I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was terrifying with that dog right there.
I don't believe it.
Yeah,
Next door.
yeah.
I don't believe it.
You just had a big old jacket on.
He doesn't want to tell us. I don't remember. That's awful.
Oh,
Ooh.
watch the hand. Watch the hand.
Oh God.
Oh.
It's not having fun on Halloween. Bubba Wallace got caught for speeding right there. The latest.
What's the hand right
one to get
there?
a speeding ticket.
The latest victim of pit road.
Yeah, the Martinsville speed trap busy today. Every time everyone comes down pit road, somebody gets caught.
So 2x2 once again. We mentioned Denny Hamlin and his team was able to gain a spot or 2 on pit road, and so that puts him on the outside of row 1. Cannot wait for a week from this weekend, and it's going to be a busy one. You've got Cup Series practice. That's right. Practice
Friday Cup
for
Series
the
practice.
Cup Series. That'll be on NBCSN at 4 o'clock on Friday. Xfinity Series practice also. And then Saturday, Xfinity Series qualifying at 5:30. Cup Series qualifying at 7. That'll be on CNBC. And then Saturday, countdown to green, 8 o'clock on NBCSN in the championship. Who will be the champion of the Xfinity Series? Can Austin Cindric repeat as a champion? Or will it be a new first-time champion in the Xfinity Series? And then on Sunday, countdown to green, and we'll see if Kyle Larson can finish out this amazing season that he has already put together. 9 wins, He's locked in, but he's got Chase Elliott also locked into that championship 4, and still 2 spots to be determined here at Martinsville.
The things we took for granted for so long. I'm jonesing to see some practice. We just haven't seen any practice. We saw qualifying back in Nashville, but we haven't seen a lot of practice qualifying weekends. So I'm excited to see a full weekend of cars on the racetrack, and I really think that sets up great for this championship weekend because it really starts in that first practice. If you can go out there and you can prove that you have the speed, that you then become the favorite, the mind games, the pressure, everything start to build for the whole weekend.
And what drivers are ready to go back qualifying? It's a mindset change to go get in that car and just go make fast laps. We'll have a bear who can win this championship. Marty.
Hey, Jeff,
what?
Green here real quick. Notice not too.
Wait, trick-or-treater?
Denny Hamlin damaged his engine in missing that shift so many times you can over-rim it.
Here, I don't see any smoke. Yeah, 10-4.
Oh, the 24, Byron, really squeezed Christopher Bell right there. Christopher really cut him a break. Back underneath him off the turn 2. Tricks on the inside of his teammate. A lot of races here as these guys trying to get these positions while everybody's bunched up after a restart. Watch replay on this issue with Denny. Takes off, the car doesn't go. Everybody does such a good job here. Usually we see a lot of
what?
Guys, like 5-6 rows back.
Alright. Car.
Like it was not going into gear very well there. A lot of grinding and carrying on.
That makes me concerned for the next restart too.
Yeah.
Oh, caution.
And there's going to be another one. 0-0 Quinn Houff went around.
So there's so much give and take during that sequence of events right there, Jeff. I know that's not going to be the case late in this race, but a lot of guys are letting each other in line, really cutting each other a break on corner entry. Impressed by that. Didn't expect to see that today.
So if you're Denny Hamlin, what do you do as
caution?
Now Josh Bilicki back
Josh Bilicki back.
Right direction. If you're Denny Hamlin, do you
okay, what just happened?
That? I mean, while we're under caution to try to make sure that you don't have an issue with that transmission?
Well, you'll be shifting it to make sure that it shifts, but when you do get going again, you just have to be deliberate. Almost slow down a little bit when you make that shift. Just make sure you get in gear.
See what happened.
Here's what happened a few laps ago.
Oh, Bilicki got loose into the corner. They got some issues with that car since he crashed, and he lost the back end getting in the corner.
Good job, Bilicki. Take that
off the racetrack, and 0-0 obviously frustrated and under caution.
Oh God!
His frustration.
How ain't happy?
To Bilicki with all that damage.
Hey, Mom.
Help Bilicki on that. Things all bent, moved around on that rear flip, and that car's not going to drive the way it is. Went down in there and took out a guy who's just trying to get through this race without any damage.
Well, Alf is not happy. You guys got a break right there. Ross Chastain, Matt Benedetto, Alfredo, they all stayed out. They didn't hit that time, so later round they gained a lap. So now they're only 1 lap down.
Wow.
The 0-0 car is going to be helping us 5 laps, we're being told, for spinning out that Bilicki car under caution. Pretty excessive rule or penalty for that right there.
Well, we've seen NASCAR do that here at this very racetrack before. Yeah, they get really sensitive under yellow in their safety trucks out there for sure. Yeah.
So that's the take that how much you get for turning Bilicki.
You know why we see the penalties sort of fluctuate a little bit. Well, there's a pace truck on
again.
The
Alright, fans, we'll be right back after these commercials.
Birds flying high around me. Breathe.
If you've been taking COPD sitting down, it's time to make a stand. Start a new day with Trilogy. No once-daily COPD medicine has the power to treat COPD in as many ways as Trilogy. With 3 medicines in 1 inhaler, Trilogy helps people breathe easier and improves lung function. It also helps prevent future flare-ups. Trilogy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trilogy more than prescribed. Trilogy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Take a stand and start a new day with Trilogy. Ask your doctor about once-daily Trilogy and save at Trilogy.com.
You could be headed on a VIP trip to the 2022 Daytona 500. Visit NASCAR.com/Daytona 500 and enter last chance for your opportunity to win. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Daytona 500 winners. Here in this opportunity to get into the championship 4. It's NASCAR Cup Series playoffs from Martinsville, the Xfinity 500. As they run, Mark Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin, they hold the 2 spots. Based on points that have not locked themselves in, it's Hamlin and Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, 18.
One thing he's taught us to do is get 4 cars back on the lead lap. That's a concern for these guys when you look at points, right? Look at Truex, you go, oh man, 18 points. He's fine when he's in the 4th position. Well, the more cars get put back in the lead lap, the more literally you can see the white flag have an issue and lose 18 points in 1 lap, right? If we're down to 15 cars in the lead lap, you finally get to a safe point in the race. But with a ton of cars in the lead lap, Parker, you will not be safe until the checker flag.
And if you saw there under the caution and under the break there, the 22 pitted just to put 4 tires and sort of throw a Hail Mary here for this 22. Paul Wolf and Joe Logano have had put tons of adjustment in this 22, trying to get it going forward so that they were at the back of the lead lap, decided to put some tires on here and see if this maybe can give them a little leg up on the cars in front of them.
Again, coming in, it's a must-win situation.
Yeah, you got to try something because now, so here, I don't think they're thinking these fresh tires are going to drive through the field, but what if we run 15 and get a caution? Well, now maybe he can stay out. You know, you just got to keep swinging. You just can't just accept it, right? Not with 172 to go.
Curious about this transmission on the 11 car.
Starts in the 2nd row on the outside once again.
Back on the way.
That time, no problem shifting.
Back on the way here, Marshall.
Elliott trying to clear the 48, but Alex Bowman fighting him on the inside. Now Chase Elliott clears that 48. And the 11 of Denny Hamlin trying that outside line as well.
We saw Denny Hamlin had a little more pace in the 48 on the early part of the run. Looks like he's right on the back bumper here trying to attack for 2nd place. Since the 48 teams helped the car a little bit on the short run here. Slides the back a little bit right there. Denny comes right to him. So hard to pass here. You can see why. As long as 48 car of Alex Bowman, as long as he can put his left sides on that curb and leave on the curb, how do you pass? How do you get underneath him? And he knows that. He knows if he can just stay low, even if he doesn't have to go quite as fast to the center of the corner, but can leave on corner exit, he will be really difficult to pass.
It looks like they've improved the 48 car here in the short run. Looking at the 12 car of Ryan Blaney here, maybe a possible tire rub there. Do you see it?
Yeah.
He and Kevin Harvick were side by in the wall right there.
Oh.
Now the right side and the left side could be rubbing.
No.
Got a left rear tire rub. Just at 18, you're clear by 1 behind him. Clear by 1, clear by half.
Here's Smarter talking. You get a little concerned about where that tire rub is as the beating, the banging continues. Yeah, he is getting all kinds of used up out there.
he struggles with his race car. Looked like at one point, just before this caution, they had things turned around on the balance of the car. Now again, finds himself.
Oh, Harvick. Contact.
Moving the car back and forth, trying to hope that maybe the deflection in the tire might beat and move that fender away. Smart move. Marty.
Yeah, it wasn't 10 laps ago where on this restart, Ryan Blaney was sitting in 10th. Now he's back in 15th. So, Jeff, when you have a tire rub like this, which Ryan has said nothing about, what do? I think it's pretty creative if that is indeed what he's doing, trying to knock that fender out by moving the car back and forth.
That's all you can do, that and hope. You know, hope that you don't get a big rub and have to pit or cut the tire, obviously. But I think the bigger concern, honestly, is just the pace. I mean, they had good pace a little while ago, but now it's all gone, it appears.
You can literally see him inside the car throwing his hands up there with frustration as the car continues to struggle, and guys are getting up underneath him off each corner.
Dave. Saw Bubba Wallace go by him, Dave.
You all noticed the 18 car a couple of cautions ago spending extended time on pit road. Where are they going now, you asked during break? And
we got a car in the wall, the back straightaway,
the
6 car right
Oh, Ryan Newman. Oh, caution.
Let's see what y'all done.
Yeah. Definitely damage on the right front. Right front tire down for the 42.
Looked up, seen a lot of cars over there struggling to get off that corner and a lot of contact. So here it is. Up there at the bottom of the screen, little 3 wide 41. Car had his nose in there and it turned to 6. He comes down into the 42, comes down into the 41. Ryan Newman has had a very difficult day today.
I don't think Chastain understood what happened there. Like, Chastain didn't understand that somebody got into Newman and that turned him down into him.
Yeah, Newman's like, man, don't be mad at me. Have anything to do with that.
No matter how it turns out, picking a fight with Ryan Newman might not be in your best interest. You won't forget.
Ryan Newman still looking for a ride for 2022 as they go to work on Ross Chastain in the 42.
That caution I talked about is all the leaders come to pit road. The 22 of Joey Logano's going to stay on the racetrack. Just like that.
Okay, pit stop's on the way.
Denny Hamlin said car was a little better on that quick 13-lap run. Pit crew has been money today. They've gotten him 2 spots on each of the last 2 stops. Routine service, 4 tires and fuel for Hamlin. Dave.
James Small, the crew chief, said we're in our window now. Martin Truex, bring it to us. 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel, Marty.
Interesting from Chase Elliott, who's really dominated the second half of this race, said the car was lazier on the front end than it's been all day long, and he had to crank the wheel more than he's had to do all day long as well. Getting a little bit cooler. Everyone right on the edge of their fuel window to make it to the end. Larson still a little bit tight. Meanwhile, Blaney trying to get all that damage fixed. He said, I don't know what damage I have, but it really changed this race car.
Elliott wins the race off of pit road.
Caution out for Ryan Newman.
6 and 42, who brought out the most.
Oh, Chastain also. We'll see.
Caution of the day here at Martinsville.
Oh, God. That doesn't seem good.
These are the people who work on the front lines. They need a network that's built right. That's why we created Horizon Frontline, the advanced network and technology for first responders. Built on America's most reliable network. Built for real interoperability and built for 5G. It's America's #1 network in public safety. Verizon Frontline, built right for first responders.
Subway has so much news, so they asked the fastest guy they could find to tell you now you can eat fresh and fast with Subway delivery. Nice work. Now do the logo. Order now.
USAA is made for the safe pilots. For Mac, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. Lucia, who announces her intentions even if no one's there. And Sergeant Ward, who leaves room for her room. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your auto insurance. Get a quote and start saving. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Cocoa Zero Sugar commercial.
I need to try it first.
Let's check out the Cup Series playoff standings brought to you by Xfinity. Larson, with his 2 wins, advances to the championship 4 next week in Phoenix. Chase Elliott has enough points now that he has advanced to the championship 4. The fight's still on for the final 2 spots. Joey Logano leading the race now because of pit strategy. He's above the cut line. Denny Hamlin, the final one on points.
You see how that definitely turns the stress up to everyone else with a new leader like Joey Logano. Came in that most precarious position. I don't want to call it a must-win because math said he could get there. It's definitely a must-win now after the 2 stages have run. They came, they pitted last caution.
I'm glad you're not tired going down to Daytona.
I don't think that's going to hurt the 22, but we're getting ready to see what kind of car he has if he can hold on.
Copy that. We are locked. Yep.
About to go back green here for the martinsville. The Xfinity 500. Back on the way. Here in Martinsville. 155 laps to go to the end of the race. Whoa.
Great restart for the 22 of Logano. Now Elliott fighting back on the outside. Here comes the 48 of Bowman once again.
Talked about the struggle with Logano all day long. Well, this is the first time he can drive his car wherever he wants it. All day he's been in traffic. He's had to compromise what he's been able to do with his car. Now with clean air, he can do what he wants.
I was wondering if the 9 hit the left front tire up. It was hard to see, but it looked like a little smoke. Maybe it was just brake smoke. Seems to be okay. That last set of corners, the 20 of Christopher Bell, stuck on the outside right here, trying to find a spot to get down.
Truex jumped into that opening. Chase Elliott maybe a little more aggressive running in that second spot. Marty?
Hey, Rick, I found the comments from Chase Elliott interesting. Steve, I'd love for you to unpack that a little bit as he tries to get the lead on the high side from Joey Logano. He said, listen, I've had to turn the wheel way more that run than I had all day long. Chase has not complained one time today about his race car. It is starting to cool down, so how much does the weather here at Martinsville play a factor with the handling, and how much will that change, Steve, in the 151 laps that are left?
Well, the track here changes dramatically over the course of the day as tire rubber goes down, and now it's going to cool. And the other thing that's going to happen is, are we going to have a sprint to the finish or a 150 lap run to the finish? And I say that because, you know, what are you setting your car up for? I mean, right now, all of these guys are within their fuel windows. To see Chase Elliott finally get to the bottom, Joey Logano, he's going to retake the lead. I assume this pass is going to be relatively easy for Chase now that he's in position. They can all make it on fuel, so feasibly, this could go all the way to the end, and that's a lot of time on those rear tires.
Logano has to win the race if he wants to advance to the championship 4. And if you look at the points, he's at the bottom of the list now, 33 points back when he's not leading this race, and that puts Hamlin and Truex Jr. back up into the top 4, those championship 4 positions.
You see it as all these guys are trying to fight to get around this 22. It's really creating a lot of issues for everybody on back through that line. Somebody's going to root up Christopher Bell out of the bottom groove. He's going to try to fight his way back into line in front of the 10 car, and then I mean all this happening behind him. A lot of accordion effect. No one wants to lose a position.
All day. The 19 behind the 5 car. Looks like there's steam coming out of the cowl.
Oh, we got one. Oh, Truex is steaming.
So the water coming
out
of the
shoot.
19 car saying it's overheating.
Oh my god, that doesn't seem good. Oh my god.
Any trash on the grill? He's obviously...
Oh no, I hope this doesn't ruin. I hope this doesn't ruin chances to get into the championship.
All day. We'll keep an eye on this.
Well, the radiator fan works under yellow, but at speed, the radiator fan can't move as much air as you can actually get just running around other cars. We'll have to keep an eye on this 19 to see if it can cool off.
Not going to cool off right there back behind the 22 like that. He's going to get over here, get down inside, make a pass. He's going to have to force this pass to try to get the grill opening into some clean air. Look at that. Look how aggressive he is here, and that's only because he knows he can't be trapped behind this car and allow his to overheat.
steam looks like it's stopped. I'm going to hope that means it cooled off, and not that it's out of water. We didn't see it for very long, so I assume that means the temperature back under control for the 19 car.
Yeah, sometimes, Steve, the temperature can actually go up at a racetrack like this where you're not going fast under caution.
We're pushing water.
Yeah, right there you can hear him say we're pushing water. But I think that, I don't see it right now.
They quit pushing water,
Okay,
Jeff. They quit
pushing water. That's great. So, Steve, what I was saying is...
Oh, we got a spin off of 4.
Oh, caution.
Cole Custer goes around.
Oh, Cole Custer.
Innocent little spin there, no contact with anyone else that I saw.
And the 9th caution of the day has
Oh,
come
God.
out.
Cole Custer just spun.
So now if you're Martin Truex Jr., do you cycle the engine, Steve, try to bring those temperatures down even further under this yellow? That's absolutely it. So basically you shut the engine off, let it coast, which you can't do very far here, and start it back up and just cycle the water and cycle the engine and try to cool it off. Because to Jeff's point, much like the alternator and charging issue reported on the 9 way back at the beginning of the day, these slow pace car speeds, they just don't do much that's good for the car. The car runs warm. It's not good for the alternator. So that's what he's doing right there. You just heard it, Junior, right? Engine shut off and try to cycle it and see if it would cool. Let's listen into the 19.
Trying to cool it off all day. Yeah, I know that. I wish I knew your fan was on before. We've been trying to pull tape. It hasn't been coming off. And when it was minus 15 before, we didn't attempt it again. So anyway, we'll be fine.
So some communication, maybe even a little miscommunication about where they were running, whether the fan was being used. You heard James Small said, listen, we've been trying to remove tape. We've had a struggle with that. Here's a look at the spin. As you mentioned it, if there's ever an easy spin, that was kind of a nice slow spin here. Oh, across the nose of the 3.
Oh,
3 without any right front fender. So we have to hope that not too much damage to that car there. And back to the point about points, that puts another car in the lead lap. 23
we'll be right back here at Martinsville once again for Xfinity 500.
This is I, Cassio's God of Cashback. Is that the Credit One Bank Platinum Rewards card?
Yeah.
So you are earning 5% cashback rewards by filling up your chariot with vehicular ambrosia.
Yeah?
For your fiancé, I bestow upon thee a gift.
Go.
Yogurt.
Get 5% cashback rewards. Visit GoCreditOne.com.
Hi, welcome to Sonic. May I take your order? 2 Sonic grilled cheese double burgers.
I'm on it.
Order up.
Sonic grilled cheese double burger ready for pickup.
If it looks like an F-150, tows like an F-150, hauls like an F-150, thinks like an F-150, and powers like an F-150, it must be an F-150 hybrid. The 2021 F-150 Power Boost Hybrid with 570 pound-feet of torque and 12,700 pounds of max available towing.
Look at those two. When is the last time they were this happy?
I know, right? This place is pretty special.
It really is.
Back at Martinsville Speedway under caution with 139 laps to go. Denny Hamlin was inside the top 5. He's back to 8th now after a problem on the most recent pit stop where Denny said he couldn't feel the car come off the jack, and you can hear him talk about it on the radio.
I couldn't tell when I was on the jack and when I wasn't. Yeah, I just didn't feel a drop. It feels like it just eased it down.
So it was kind of a slow, easy drop, as he explained, and he waited. He hesitated before he left the box because he wasn't sure if he was off the jack or not. Cost him 5 or 6 spots, and now Denny's restarting 8th.
Yeah, so when the jack falls, it's pretty violent. I mean, it actually almost hurts sometimes. And when you set it down slowly, you're like, what's going on? Maybe they don't want me to leave right now. The cue for the driver is the jack. That is the cue. When it falls, you roll.
And amazingly enough, lost 4 or 5 spots because of that. Maybe a second on pit road.
Chase Elliott
back on the way.
Outside line easily clears the 48 going into turn number 1. But battling back is Alex Bowman. He'll stay in second. Martin Truex Jr. is third. Kyle Larson fourth. Logano has dropped back to 5th now. He's fighting for that spot with William Byron. Denny Hamlin once again. He looks to the inside of Logano.
Logano not giving him too much room, man. You don't want to make contact and get in the door of that car. You can't get in the throttle when you're running in the side of somebody if you're Denny Hamlin. Look how tight that 22 runs him off the corner. It's so frustrating if you're on the inside.
Joey doesn't have a lot to lose, and Denny does. Joey's actually giving him a fair amount of room right there
on entry. Almost daring him, though, to hit him on corner exit. Trying to chop and make it more difficult for Denny to get in the gas, but Denny's going to make the pass.
Parker.
And guys, that's kind of been the story of Joey Logano's day, being forced to the outside and trying to fit himself back in the inside lane. What a call by Paul Wolfe there earlier to take those tires, being the last car in the lead lap that allowed them to stay out and get some of that track position. But think about this. Look at the adjustments they had made on this 22 car over the course of the race. 6 rounds of wedge, 4 rounds of the track bar, and left front pack adjustments into the car, which took a while when they were at the back of the pack. They have thrown everything but the kitchen sink at this 22, even got in track position here, but it just does not look like they maybe have the speed to stay up. Remember, on a little bit of disadvantage tire-wise, trying to hold on here to this track position. We'll see if it comes their way, but they definitely need some fortune to come their way with 22.
Little contact there between the 2 and the 20 as Keselowski got into the left rear quarter panel of Bell.
Talk a lot about the trophy here being the grandfather clock. Well, time is running out on guys like Brad Keselowski, and you can see it, right? 132 laps to go. A pass that perhaps could have been completely clean 5, 10, 15 laps into this race, maybe 15 laps into the second stage. Now, I don't have time to mess with you. So if I'm inside you, I feel like I'm going to go by. I'm okay if I bump you a little bit. I just can't waste the time working on these passes.
Trying to get by the 18. We'll see how long it takes here.
So right here, this battle, Brad Kay, we know he's been dealing with all day. Started out well, now struggling. Racing with Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch currently 10 points behind teammate Martin Truex Jr. Dave.
When I talked to crew chief Ben Bayshore about preparation with Kyle Busch this week as Brett Keselowski looks to the inside, he said we did a deep dive into Kyle's history at this track and what, quote, rang the bell for speed. So you've heard all the adjustments Ben's tried all day as they lose the position here. They've tried so many things, but it's a result of what he thought he could do for Kyle. They may have to ring the bell one more time, Marty.
Boy, Dave, it seems like the 2 and the 18 have been locked side by side for the last 50 or 60 laps. At this point, Jeremy Boland's doing everything he can to try and put Brad Keselowski in a position to maybe flip things on the 19. That's what they're watching. So the next caution that might come out, you might see the 2 do the opposite of whatever the 19 does. They're doing anything they can. Right now, 14 points below the cut line. Passing Kyle Busch helped a little bit.
And Marty, what needs to happen, or at least for the 18, the 2, or the 12, the 11 and the 19, they have to have a problem right now because there's not enough positions for the 18 of Kyle Busch to go up there and gain 11 spots because Kyle Busch right now is running 9th. There's not enough positions points-wise to gain those. So Truex has to have a problem. He's got to drop back so there's more points available. Let's listen in on Kyle Busch's radio.
I don't understand how I get beat in the corner and out turn and out accelerating. Throwing tight your center, losing stuff off.
Now the feedback of this is what I need the car to do different is turning into frustration because much like Keselowski, Kyle Busch knows the laps are winding down and his opportunity in the playoffs starting to dwindle.
So NASCAR nonstop, you won't miss a thing. 125 to go for Martinsville.
NASCAR nonstop.
My internet streams to my ride.
Yeah? Well, mine's always got my back.
Okay, chill. Mine's faster than Harvick.
Okay, that's fast.
My internet's so fast, it keeps up with me.
Yep, that's because you all have the same internet. Xfinity X5. So powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
Can your internet do that?
I need a Mocha Crunch Blast, please. You got it.
I'm on the Mocha Fudge.
We're gonna need more espresso chunks.
Order up.
Sonic Mocha Crunch Blast.
Oh, damn,
The
Suarez.
USAA is made for the
Caution.
safe pilots. For Matt, who can come to a stop with
Damn,
barely a
Suarez
bobble.
goes around.
Lucia, who announces her intentions even if no one's there. And Sergeant Moore, who leaves room for her room. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your auto insurance. Get a quote and start saving. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Closer.
I need to try it first.
Ugh, which credit card could I even be approved for?
Hey, smartphone, open Credit Karma. Karma Confidence shows curated credit card offers with outstanding chances of approval.
Now that's smart.
Approved!
You did it, Jess. Yay.
Jess. See your offers and apply with Karma Confidence today.
Credit Karma, from free credit scores to tailored card offers and everything in between. Download the app today.
Caution comes out for Daniel Suarez spinning, and everyone on pit road. Dylan?
Denny Hamlin says he's pretty good. Still needs some help in the center. He's tight there, Dave.
What a great opportunity for Martin Truex Jr. He was getting ready to have to come for a loose wheel. When this caution came out, they said, bring it. We'll make an adjustment as well, Marty.
Dave, as it gets cooler here at Martinsville, Chase Elliott gets more unhappy with his race car. He said it's definitely tighter. They're going to go back to where they were 2 runs ago. See if it makes a 9 car any better. Kyle Larson, meanwhile, said that last adjustment finally freed up his race car.
Alright, Chase Elliott once again wins first off pit road. Alright, let's take a replay of what happened to poor
Chase
Daniel
Elliott gets the
Suarez.
first position off pit road, but it won't be the lead because we've had cars stay on the racetrack. We've had the 3 of Austin Dillon, the 8 of Tyler Reddick, and the 41 of Cole Custer, all lead lap cars that have stayed on the racetrack.
Trying to get past by Ryan Blaney.
The caution, Briscoe, little contact.
Ooh, Briscoe, contact repair. What?
Yeah, the 99
Doesn't
was up the
seem
track a little
good.
bit in the middle of the corner, and Briscoe went in there. Gets into left rear.
Ooh.
Kyle Larson seems to
So
make a little bit of an error on pit road speeding. As he entered pit road,
second time today for the 5-car speeding penalty.
I think every caution,
and
almost every caution we've had a speeding penalty.
And just about every lap of the racetrack, something similar to what we saw with the 99 cars happening in the back half of the field. The racing back there today has been rough. Me and Jeff been sitting here watching it throughout the day. Those guys are going to continue to beat on each other.
Saw Suarez in the 99 car. His car owner, Justin Marks, racing super late model tonight in Nashville 400. Dylan.
Back to the 5 of Kyle Larson quickly. He was shoving Denny Hamlin because Denny came on the radio and said, the 5 had my back end jacked up. I couldn't even tell what my RPMs were. So as they came around the bend here, you can see the replay of Larson pushing Hamlin around the corner. So it nearly messed up Hamlin's as well, but Larson unfortunately got the bad deal.
Was Kyle Larson trying to push Denny Hamlin into a speeding penalty there?
Well, you wonder, this is the second penalty for Larson, right? And he's pushing Denny Hamlin, so you wonder if the math's a little different in each car, right? Larson was pushing him because his tack was below where he thought it should be on his pit road speed, so that's why he was pushing Hamlin. Hamlin was going slower based on his tachometer.
Now with this caution, 24 cars in the lead lap, and as I mentioned, cars stay out. So as we come around to the choose, Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick, and the 41 of Custer will get to decide where they're going to restart. And this is going to really change the look at the front of this field.
The control car also
to Richard Child's teammates.
So he's going to expect his teammate Reddick to allow him to get in
Hold
line on
on.
that inside. It's going to really box up all these guys with new tires behind them. A lot of chain reaction could happen getting down in the corner.
That's exactly what
But I'll
Truex
still
does.
hit
That's
the
the
wall
best
right
case
there. I
scenario
made
for
contact
Truex
with
in a 19
Blaney.
car is for that 3 to roll to the bottom because the 19's got new tires. He could roll the top and get the lead, Dave.
Crew Chief James Small confirmed to Martin it was a loose wheel right rear. Steve, those look like Halloween nightmare scuff marks to you?
Yeah, absolutely. You expect those to be perfectly round. You can see they're a little oblong with the wheel shook back and forth on the wheel stud. So damage on the wheel, obviously loose.
We're back on the way here. Two Richard Church's teammates making a room on Austin and Tyler. We're back on the way here in
This is a
Martinsville.
little bit of a gift, I think, for Truex and Hamlin. They have the fresher tires, and they're on the outside. They're going to be battling for the lead outside of the 3 while the Hendrick cars are trapped behind.
Yeah, Truex got exactly what he wanted right there.
As long as he can complete this pass on the outside of the 3 car, it's not going to be easy. Austin Dillon's not going to move out of the way. Just let him have it.
A little better tire on that 19 car, for sure.
Still, they put Austin in this position. They expect him, his team expects him to run as hard as he can to maintain this track position. He's fighting back on that inside. Truex going to clear him down the straightaway with the acceleration. Now Denny to the outside of the 3 car for second.
The great thing Denny's got, if he doesn't clear the 3, is there's no room behind him. So Denny can attack right here. He can try to get by this 3, and if it doesn't work, there's a place for him to fall in behind Austin.
I think he's going to carry the momentum around the 3 right here on the corner exit. Impressive move by both the 19 and the 11.
And behind him, you see Joey Logano using the 8 car as a pick to try and get around Chase Elliott, but Chase is going to go to the inside here, possibly 3 wide.
Well, 3 wide.
Oh,
Better of it. Put the bumper to the back of the 8. Now the 11 fighting for the lead with a 19. And Denny Hamlin takes the lead here in Martinsville.
Denny Hamlin to the lead here in Martinsville.
This fight continues right here. Joey Logano fighting for his life, trying to clear Reddick.
And Chase is doing a good job of being patient here. He could easily get in the back of the 8.
Oh, more cheers.
Oh, Reddick gets loose right there on corner entry, almost into the door of the 22. Chase now going to go look to the outside here.
Joey needs one good corner. If he can get the car to turn right here, he can. 8 car on the side of him. Still, that gets it done. Now he's clear.
So Logano moves up into that 4th position. Chase Elliott also is going to use the outside line to get by Tyler Reddick. And maybe put the bumper to the back of Logano. Elliott feeling he's faster than the 22. And he's right on the back bumper. Up goes the 22 of Logano and Chase Elliott. Now drag race down the back stretch into 3.
Logano just does not have the speed.
And unfortunately, guys, I don't know how much longer I'm going to record because my friends are going to come.
Paul Wolf, strategy to get him this track position, but he just doesn't have the speed.
Alright, so yeah.
This car, this number 8 car, Tyler Reddick.
Oh, my friend's on my way.
Tough position right here.
So is William Byron on the outside of 3 wide.
The good thing, though, Williams got the tires to be able to, regroup and get around him. This 8 car is struggling on these old tires, stalling back through the field. Not fun to be behind the wheel of a car like that. You've got no offense. Completely at the mercy of all these guys around you.
Almirola coming up as well. He's in the top 10. William Byron running in that 9th spot. Marty.
I think any other Martinsville race, Rick, and no way Brad Keselowski takes it 3 wide there. But you can hear the sense of urgency. Brad, from Jeremy Bullins, from TJ Majors, they keep telling Brad, you have to stay aggressive with everybody. It's time to go. We have no time to waste. So I would have a feeling that bumper, the front bumper of the 2 cars, is going to get used quite a bit here.
Right behind Brad Keselowski, some guys that are having great runs. You have Byron in 9th, Almirola 10th. Bubba Wallace recovering from an earlier incident in 11th. Bell, Reddick, Kurt Busch. How about Chris Buescher? 15th in that 17 car.
Brad almost into the left rear quarter panel. Joey's holding everybody up. We all know it. Brad drives in deep to get alongside.
Can't complete the pass.
Kyle Busch showing a lot of trust in Brad Keselowski. Kyle running that upper lane.
The fight back here between Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Logano for 6
NASCAR non-stop.
You go NASCAR non-stop.
Yep. This stuff's for good, actually.
These are the people who work on the front lines. They need a network that's built right. That's why we created Verizon Frontline. the advanced network and technology for first responders. Built on America's most reliable network. Built for real interoperability and built for 5G. It's America's #1 network in public safety. Verizon Frontline, built right for first responders.
Okay. Here you go, buddy. Thank you.
You may kiss the bride.
Which I like. Can't show it because it's copyright.
Oh my god. Poor baby girl.
We took the truck that helped build this country and made it so it could power our homes. We took the vehicles businesses use to keep the lights on and made them run on the same thing that turns the lights on. We took the original 0 to 60 head turner and gave it 0 tailpipe emissions. We took the familiar and made it revolutionary.
Let's hide in the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah, okay.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do.
I'm being quiet. Breathing on me.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Chucky is the #1 new scripted series.
I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end.
Certified fresh on Rotten
Oh
Tomatoes.
no, another Chucky commercial.
It's the World Series of Slaughter.
Hello, Chucky. Long time no see.
What did you do?
Set for DVR for Chucky Tuesdays at 10 and stream the latest episodes now.
So much to talk about this week on NASCAR America Motor Mouse. Again, that's streamed live on NBC Sports Channel on Peacock, and you can call in. That's the greatest part. Fans, call in, talk to the people that are on. It's amazing to hear everybody's opinion on what they think about maybe the Martinsville race, what's going on. Again, that's Monday and Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern on PeacockTV.com. But NASCAR Motor Mouse, so much fun.
Well, Jeff and I are on tomorrow, and I have a sneaky suspicion. With 93 to go, Jeff, we haven't even perhaps got the main topic we're going to discuss tomorrow. I think there's more to happen here in Martinsville.
Oh, I can about guarantee it. There's been so much happening, so much on the line already. Can't wait to have the fans call in.
What?
They always have great opinions. Sometimes we disagree with them, Judy.
Tyler Reddick.
I can't move.
Here.
Whoa. Wow. Oh my god, Reddick did a drift.
Decided to put the bumper to the back of
I'm
that
gonna
one.
buy along Fine Blair here. Okay.
Yeah, the race in the back.
Whoa!
Extremely entertaining here
I
today.
think actually not look good.
If you're watching, not if you're in the
look
back
at,
half of the
it's like
field.
a drift, but that was a cool save.
Kyle Busch.
Great save by, actually fabulous save by Tyler Reddick in the 8th guy.
Is that the white flag? I mean, is he saying that's it? I can't go any further?
There's his teammate,
No,
Christopher
he's
Bell.
just frustrated.
Behind
Thought
me.
he could run better. I mean, yeah, he's
18.
being honest. Look, I'm running 10th right here. Car's not doing anything I wanted to do. Christopher Bell's hounding me for the 10th position. But with 90 to go, make adjustments. 4 new tires, a restart. I mean, he's not going to give up.
He's 13 points out right now.
It's hurt absolutely terrible. And one thing I learned about Kyle Busch is, you know, you listen to his radio, you think he may have quit. He may be giving up, but that's not the case at all. He's just venting, man. He's just letting steam out. He's not going to quit. He's
Alright,
going
we
to
just
give
hit 3 hours, guys.
We're watching. No way this guy's going to lay down.
Watching the Penske teammates up top, Brad Zaleski continues to try to take positions away, and one of his teammate Joey Logano. Joey has to fight hard though. Joey needing the win. Both these guys do. But to be able to get the win, they've got to get a little bit farther forward in this field to have a chance to attack during those late yellows. You can't restart 6th, 8th, trying to win this race late in this race. Look at that contact right there. I think it's the moment. Yeah, I think it's the moment in the race where you know, Roger Penske would say, hey, you got to race each other just like there are other cars on the track. You know, we try to take care of each other, but we know now each one is out for himself because only one guy gets in at this stage of the race. I think the 11th.
What you need is going to be stuck by the lapper. Watch the crossover on exit. All clear.
TJ Major spotted for Brad Keselowski. You can see Joey not real happy with that, giving Brad a little bit of a touchdown into turn one. Parker.
And Dale, you hit the nail on the head. It was about 50 laps prior to this that the two called the 22 in that same fashion, and he was told just let him go. That time, not at all. Remember, they had a meeting this morning amongst all the Team Penske drivers and crew chiefs about how they would race each other come late in this race when maybe, as they are now, most of them are in a must-win position, and it was told, race them like you would race anyone else. They didn't want them to hold back at this point in the race, but every man for themselves, the Team Penske camp. We're starting to see that now. That two used a little bit of aggression to get by the 22.
And now he's trying to catch the 3-car. Brad's not going to be with Penske next year, so his allegiance, his loyalty is probably not as high as those other guys.
Those two from Michigan.
He doesn't want to do anything to disappoint or frustrate Roger Penske on his way out, but he's definitely on a different agenda than his teammates are today. Can race a little bit more aggressively around them, I think.
I think coming into this race, no one thought within that camp that this would be the pace they have, right? They just have not had the speed, Marty.
So, Jeff, I wanted to ask about that meeting this afternoon, kind of get your take on that. Actually, this morning, they had a meeting at 10:30 with all the Team Penske drivers and Roger Penske in the meeting as well, and they kind of called the meeting to say, hey, how can we race each other? Can we race each other clean? Can we push each other out? But aren't the rules a little bit different, Jeff, knowing Brad Keselowski's not going to be here in 2 weeks? I mean, you treat him differently than you treat your other teammates if you're Joey Logano or Ryan Blaney.
Well, Marty, I think that the situation they were in coming into this race made that conversation much easier. Like, it really was only most likely one spot amongst a lot of drivers going for it. 3 of those drivers were Penske drivers. So, I mean, really, it was kind of a, you know, almost a common sense conversation, right? No, they're not going to go out and intentionally wreck each other. But if you got to move somebody, is it going to be okay? I mean, am I going to have a job on Monday? And I think that, you know, that was handled correctly. To say, look, you guys race each other with respect, but also you all got to go do what you need to do for you and your individual team. The situation, to me, made the rules easy for them to enforce.
Brad Keselowski trying to pass Austin Hill, and Austin doing a really, really good job. He stayed out on these older tires. We saw pace in this car earlier in the race. Now that he's got the track position again, he's taking advantage of what the car can give him, and I think Brad's going to eventually get the position on him, but he's done a good job staying here in the top 10.
A familiar sight in Martinsville, but it's been quite a while. It's the 48 up front beating and banging. I'd say that because the 48 is past the 9 for the 3rd position. So Alex Bowman in the 48 finding some pace when it matters most. 78 laps to go. Marty.
And the 48 certainly good, but the 9 not so good. We've talked about how it's cooled down here, Steve, and Chase Elliott just came on the radio to Alan Gustafson and said, hey, the harder I push this car, the worse it drives. It almost feels like there's way too much air in the rear tires. Alan told him, hey, take it easy for the rest of this run. They've got to find the pace they had early on. Again, he was a dominant car once he got past his teammate Kyle Larson. He led 289 laps, but kind of losing the handle on that 9 car. Meanwhile, Keselowski still flying through the field. Restarted 14th, Keselowski up to 5th.
Keselowski continues to be the car on the move. He is the highest scored Ford right now, and really Ford's only hope as they're running on the racetrack to get into the championship 4. But he's got to do something amazing, and Martin Truex Jr. is going to have to falter if the 2 could get in. As we take a look at the Xfinity fastest lap, it was turned by Chase Elliott, and that was all the way back on lap 7. A lap time of just under 20 seconds.
And Bubba Wallace fans out there, he had to make a green flag pit stop, so he lost a couple laps on pit road. You find out what the issue was. I don't know if it was a wheel or a flat or some sort of issue brought the 23 to pit road.
Chase Elliott continuing to fight by lap traffic. And Elliott currently running in the 4th position after winning stage 1 and stage 2. Denny Hamlin up front, Martin Truex Jr. a second behind. Alex Bowman running in 3rd.
7
seconds back. There he